Season is next week, so for now, looks like they're just going to take it easy. We do know this, tip-off is tonight at 7:30.
Just be ready next week. All right, well, let's talk about the Nets. They'll also be finishing their preseason tonight on the road against the Toronto Raptors. Brooklyn's 8th overall pick, Yegor Demon, is expected to make his debut after suffering a foot injury back in July. Now, Demon is the Nets' first lottery pick in 15 years. Tip-off is set for 7. Well, next year's World Cup in North America is shaping up to be quite a blockbuster.
As expected, FIFA says over 1 million tickets have already been sold for the 104-match event. The tournament will be played in the U.S., Mexico, and Canada between June 11th and July 19th. FIFA says buyers from 212 countries all around the world, territories, every place, they've all purchased tickets, despite only 28 of the Cup's 48 participants having been selected.
Well, entertainment news is coming up next.
Sure is. We got a lot of stuff talking about because Elsa and Anna, are they returning? Is it time to let it go and see how we're feeling about Frozen? Frozen 3, could it be happening? We'll be right back.
Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say.
All right, how about that? You know that song? What movie is that from?
Every parent with children knows that song. It's from Frozen, of course.
Frozen 1, Frozen 2, and how about Frozen 3? Kristen Bell is providing an update on the upcoming 3rd Frozen film.
That's right. The actress who plays Anna in the franchise told Variety that production on the movie will start soon and that she has seen a script, but that's it, saying, I am under lock and key. Frozen 3 is currently set to be released in 2027.
Ooh, looking forward to that one.
Well, let's talk a little pop culture Jeopardy right now because it's getting another season, but this time not on Amazon Prime.
All right, this time the game show has been renewed for a second year on Netflix, so you can stream it. The change is reportedly due to a shift in strategy by Prime Video executives who agree to allow Sony Pictures Television to shop the Jeopardy spin-off to other outlets. Variety reports that Colin Jost is is in talks to return as host in the brand new season. Pop Culture Jeopardy debuted on Prime last December and ran through March. New episodes are expected to arrive on Netflix at some point next year. Well, we also got a new show here, new show that's an old one. The Squid Game brought to life. It's coming.
This show, it just keeps coming and coming. It's a show that's never dying. We have a new look at season 2 of Squid Game, The Challenge. Take a look.
The first team to finish will survive.
There's $4.5 million on the line. They're struggling. You got it.
And you know why it keeps coming back? Because there's money on the line. The show features several of the games from Squid Game Season 2. It also involves 456 contestants, all competing for a life-changing $4.5 million. It's a lot of money. Squid Game, The Challenge Season 2 drops on Netflix November 4th.
All right, should be good. I know there are a couple of local competitors last time, so we'll see how it all works out this time.
Go get them and bring home that hard-earned cash. All right, well, speaking of cash, wrap your week up strong. Thanks for ending it with Good Day Wake Up. Good Day New York is up next.
Sure is. Rosanna and Curt, they have a great show today. They're going to take a close look at the fallout from last night's mayoral debate with top politician analyst Ben Max. He's got some information that you don't want to miss. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Have a good weekend.
From Fox 5 New York, this is Good Day New York.
Well, here we are just about 7 o'clock in the morning. How you feeling?
I feel like it's a Friday.
Okay,
which
me
is
too.
always a good feeling.
It's Friday, October 17th. Good Day New York. I'm Rosanna Scotto.
I'm Curt Menefee. Thank you for being with us. You know what? After a chilly start, it's actually going to be a beautiful sunny day. Get outside and enjoy it after Good Day New York. High temperatures in the 60s. Liv Johnson will have a full forecast and a look ahead to the weekend.
Well, did you watch that debate last night? The three candidates faced off last night, and things got a little heated. We're going to break it down this morning for you.
Meanwhile, President Trump is expected to meet with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky later on today. We'll tell you what's on the negotiation table as Trump tries to bring peace to another war-torn region. 2
more streamers are bundling how much you're going to have to pay for Apple TV and Peacock in the service that's available next week.
And this morning, we are remembering KISS guitarist Ace Frehley, his legacy. As one of the founding members of the legendary band, he was 74 years old and a New York guy living in New Jersey.
Everybody's shocked that he
It was
died.
kind of a surprise. They kept it quiet. Apparently, he got injured in the fall recently, but it hadn't gotten out until his passing. We will talk about that a little bit later on, but right now, on this Friday, it is 7:01. Let's check in with Liv Johnson as for what we can expect in the weather. Liv.
Hello, Kurt. Good morning, Rosanna. Good morning, you too. Yeah, it's a little bit chilly to start your morning, but it's going to be nice and mild later. 47 degrees in New York City. Much cooler down the shore, though. Just 40 degrees right now. 49 if you're out east on Long Island. Still in the 30s for Hartford and Poughkeepsie, both 37. Monticello, 34, but we'll all at least get into the upper 50s. So in the city, we're expecting about 60 to 63 degrees for our afternoon high, 62 pretty much anywhere east of that, right? All of Long Island, Hartford and Bridgeport, both 62. And even though we're in the 30s for Poughkeepsie and Monticello right now, we will again get at least into the upper 50s and low 60s for most of the tri-state area. It's a little windy right now. Wind speeds consistently 5 to 15 miles per hour, but it's not going to be as bad as yesterday. Still some wind gusts at time. Probably 20 to 25 miles per hour at their peak, but we're looking at mainly clear and dry skies for the next few days. A pretty nice and mild weekend until late Sunday night. We get a line of showers that's going to take us into our Monday. But first, tomorrow, our Saturday, 65 degrees and sunny, even warmer on Sunday. But again, we have those nighttime showers that take us into Monday. Now, Inez is here to give us updates on conditions on the roads and on the rails.
Good morning, Liv. And strict cleaning rules are in effect today. Right now, we have a crash on the BQE. This is westbound, so expect delays coming in from the Grand Central Parkway there. You have the right lane blocked, as you can see there by Roosevelt Avenue. Then over on Staten Island, the expressway slow heading towards Clove Road. Center lane blocked with an accident, so slow heading towards the Verrazano Bridge. To George Washington Bridge, it's 30 minutes right now heading towards the upper and lower level. If you're heading towards the Lincoln Tunnel, it's about 15 to 20 inbound. The Holland Tunnel is about the same. With the rails, everything running on or close. Curt and Rosanna, back to you.
All righty. Thank you so much, Inez. Well, we had our first chance to see the mayoral hopefuls on the debate stage last night, and things got a little heated.
The 3 candidates all fighting to be heard to win over your vote, particularly if you're undecided. Briella Tomasetti joins us this morning with a wrap-up. Briella.
Yeah, Curt and Rosanna, I don't typically stay up that late, but it was quite entertaining to watch. It was especially the first face-off since frontrunner Zohran Mamdani crushed Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primary. Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa is trying to gain traction, but the stakes were especially high for Cuomo because last night was one of his last chances to convince voters that choosing Mamdani would be a mistake. Sliwa called Mamdani's plans for the city fantasies, while Cuomo said it's all based on a myth.
There have been a number of absolutely unfounded lies that have been said by Andrew Cuomo.
What the Assemblyman doesn't say is all this money that he wants to pass. The one thing he did do is he voted for a pay raise for himself.
This is like a spat in the schoolyard.
In the first mayoral debate for the 2025 general election, the 3 candidates traded a series of personal jabs and delivered their pitch to millions of voters with just over a week left until the start of early voting. Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee, Curtis Sliwa, the Republican nominee, and Andrew Cuomo, who's running as an independent, wrangled over contentious topics, including affordability, crime, housing, education, immigration, and foreign affairs. Early on, the mayoral hopefuls were asked about how they would deal with President Trump, and things got heated right away.
No matter what you think about Donald Trump, you know that not even being able to name him is an act of cowardice, and that's what we would see from Donald Trump's puppet on the right.
Exactly. If the Assemblyman is elected mayor, Donald Trump will take over New York City, and it will be Mayor Trump who runs New York City.
You lost your own primary, right? You were rejected by your Democrats. You're not going to stand up to Donald Trump.
Even with a strong lead in the polls, Mamdani frequently attacked Cuomo, arguing that the former governor doesn't understand the city's affordability crisis and brought up the sexual harassment allegations that prompted him to resign. Cuomo, who's trying to make a political comeback, found himself on the defense, battling away criticisms from both Mamdani and Sliwa, and arguing that he's the only one experienced enough for the job.
There was a report that that was done that had allegations of harassment. None of that came to anything.
Both Cuomo and Sliwa painted Mamdani's agenda as too extreme. During an interview on Fox News Channel earlier this week, Mamdani sidestepped a question about whether Hamas should lay down arms as part of the ceasefire deal. But last night he said,
"Of course, I believe that they should lay down their arms."
Cuomo and Sliwa want to hire thousands more police officers. Mamdani wants to maintain headcount and in the past called for defunding the police. 2 days ago, he apologized for his prior criticisms of the NYPD. Mamdani also faced backlash over his past support for decriminalizing prostitution.
I am not, and nor have I ever called for the legalization of prostitution.
On the theme of affordability, Mamdani wants to implement free bus service, an idea both Cuomo and Sliwa have criticized as unrealistic. Mamdani also declined to endorse fellow Democrat Kathy Hochul for re-election on the debate stage after she endorsed the Queens legislator in his run to lead the nation's biggest city.
Who supports Kathy Hochul for re-election?
It's a decision that should be made after this general election in November.
Why don't you endorse her?
I appreciate it.
How about a shout out for Elise Stefanik to take out Kathy Hochul?
Sliwa appeared to be aware that the debate would focus on Mamdani and Cuomo, who spent much of the night, as you just heard, arguing back and forth with each other. At one point, though, the Guardian Angels founder interrupted a round of crosstalk between his two competitors and said, "I'm being marginalized out of this." And he encouraged the moderators to acknowledge that there were 3 people on stage, not just 2. Rosanna and Curt, back to you.
Very interesting. Okay, thank you so much. And we're going to have more on the mayoral debate coming up at 7:30 this morning.
Yeah, Ben Max from Max Politics Podcast. He'll be joining us with his analysis of that first debate and what we can look forward to as the second debate comes up next week. Well, the government shutdown is now in day 17, and another vote to end it in the Senate failed. It's the 10th time that's happened.
Well, Democrats say they won't agree without guarantees on extending health insurance subsidies. Republican leaders are refusing to negotiate until a short-term funding bill to reopen the government is passed. Next week, Republicans plan to introduce a bill that would allow active military and certain government employees to be paid. And former National Security Advisor John Bolton expected to surrender to authorities today after being indicted on charges that he mishandled classified information.
The 18-count indictment accuses him of sharing the information with relatives. Bolton served for more than a year during President Trump's first term before he was fired. Bolton denied the allegations, saying it's part of President Trump's effort to intimidate those he deems his enemies.
Now to the latest on the Middle East peace deal. President Trump has some strong words for Hamas. The president said if the bloodshed in Gaza continues, the U.S. will have no choice but to, quote, go in and kill them. This comes amid reports that Hamas has been using the agreement to try to reassert control over the Gaza Strip, targeting Palestinians who they believe collaborated with Israel during the war. Israel accused Hamas of not abiding by the ceasefire agreement. President Trump also clarified that he would not send U.S. troops into Gaza, but reiterated that Hamas must disarm immediately.
Well, President Trump is trying to broker peace and end another ongoing war.
Well, he's set to meet with Ukrainian President Zelensky today. Good Day's Haley Fixler is checking things out for us. What's going on, Haley?
Good morning, Curt, Rosanna. Well, it's not just a meeting with Zelensky. Trump also had a phone call yesterday with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And now it's unclear if the U.S. will end up selling special long-range missiles to Ukraine, as previously discussed. So let's break this all down. The war between Russia and Ukraine continues. It's now going into its 4th year. Trump has met with both leaders and has had numerous phone calls with them, all in hopes of ending this conflict. And now things may be developing. Yesterday, Trump and Putin spoke on the phone, and apparently they made, quote, great progress. There are set to be some more discussions next week between Russian and U.S. officials. And then if those talks go well, Putin and Trump are going to meet in Budapest within the next 2 weeks.
I think the president is always willing to take a chance at diplomacy, and this war, he has always said, is going to have to end at the negotiating table.
Today's meeting at the White House with Zelensky, it could be pivotal. Zelensky has made it known he wants peace and wants to end the war, but he has also been vocal about wanting the special Tomahawk missiles to help his forces fight against the Russian military. These missiles, they have a range of 995 miles. That would allow strikes deep into Russian territory. Zelensky has said they really need them. The thing is, though, Putin and Russian leaders say If the U.S. provides Ukraine with these missiles, there could be consequences. This is what Trump told reporters when asked if Putin tried to dissuade him from handing over some of those missiles.
Would you mind if I gave a couple of thousand Tomahawks to your opposition? I did say that to him. I said it just that way. He didn't like the idea. He really didn't like the idea. No, I said it that way. You have to be a little bit lighthearted sometimes, but no, he doesn't want Tomahawk is a vicious weapon. It's a vicious, offensive, incredibly destructive weapon. Nobody wants Tomahawk shot at him.
Trump yesterday said that he hopes to have, quote, separate but equal meetings with each side to get things done since the two leaders don't get along with each other. Zelensky said he's hoping that Trump's success and momentum with the peace deal in the Middle East will help end this war. Curt, Rosanna?
All right, thank you very much. Well, we learned this morning that one of the founding members of the legendary rock band Kiss, Ace Frehley, has died.
Yeah, his family released a statement yesterday. They said he died, he was surrounded by his loved ones, and that his memory will live on forever. This comes after Ace was hospitalized last month. He had a brain bleed caused by a fall at his studio. Ace was the lead guitarist for Kiss starting in 1973 before leaving for the first time in 1982. He rejoined the band in 1996, remained with them until 2002. He was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame along with the rest of Kiss in 2014. He appeared here on Good Day New York back in 2018. Ace Frehley was 74 years old. Rest in peace. All right, still ahead, President Trump is announcing a partnership with an IVF drug maker that hopefully is going to lower prices.
Plus, we'll tell you how Spotify is partnering with artificial intelligence to build new music products.
And a new kind of yoga is trending. It's called screaming yoga. That doesn't seem like it goes together. Yoga's supposed to be like peaceful, isn't it?
Opposites attract.
Find out what people are shouting about when Good Day returns.
exceptions.
Can you imagine walking past that?
This is my kind of yoga.
Oh, my gosh. Yoga's supposed to be relaxing and stress relieving. I guess it can be in an unconventional way. They're calling this screaming yoga. It's described as a wellness movement that incorporates shouting and yelling as a way to reduce stress and release pent-up emotions. Screaming yoga classes are now popping up all around New York City and elsewhere. I don't think that's New York City there, but they're popping up.
I don't even think you need to go to a class for that in New York. I feel like I see people doing that on the street.
Screaming all over the subway lines everywhere.
Can we just scream without the yoga? Does that count?
Yeah.
I don't want to do a downward dog. I just want to scream.
They're in California or something. They had palm trees. Here in New York, we can just scream.
Hey, it takes all kinds, right?
Yeah.
It does. Well, can we do outdoor activities today?
Yes,
Okay.
you can. And this weekend, you guys, it's not going to be too bad. We're hanging on to some nice fall weather, even though it's been feeling a little bit like winter in the mornings. It's kind of that time of year. But we have a beautiful sunrise and mainly going to be sunny for our Friday and our Saturday and our Sunday. There's our satellite radar. So you can see not much around us that's threatening to ruin our weekend. Barely any cloud cover. It will get a little bit more cloudy Saturday and Sunday, but still mainly sunny. So that's because we have an area of high pressure. That's going to keep us company for the next few days. There it is right there. It's going to stick around again for your Friday, Saturday, most of your Sunday. But we do have an area of low pressure and a cold front that's going to bring some rain late Sunday. So you see we're in the clear until Sunday night. Then we get those showers. But really, you can still make those outdoor plans for Sunday. I don't think anything is going to change with this forecast. If anything, it'll probably move a little bit later into early Monday morning. But then by Monday afternoon, we should be in the clear. Let's get back to today, though. It's kind of slow to warm up, so we'll be in the 40s until those late morning hours, and then eventually we'll cross into the 60s by late afternoon. We'll probably hit a high of 60 to 63 degrees. Again, chilly start, cool highs, but this is pretty average for this time of year. Tomorrow is even warmer, 65 degrees and sunny. Sunday, like I said, you can make outdoor plans because it's 72 degrees. Just have that rain late at night into Monday. It's a little bit of a cooler start, but then we're dry again by Tuesday. Now, Inez is here to tell us about what we have on the roads and on the rails. Good morning, Inez.
Hi there, Liv. Strict cleaning rules are in effect today. Right now, we have a crash, actually a stalled bus over on the Bruckner. It was just cleared away. This was westbound by the Bronx River Parkway, so it's causing some delays, but everything's been reopened. Staten Island Expressway by Clove Road, clearing away a crash eastbound there. You can see only that HOV lane getting through there, so expect heavy delays heading towards the Verrazano Bridge. Over on the Gowanus, not too bad. Traffic flowing nicely here by 38th Street as you head towards the Prospect. You do slow down around the Prospect, and then the LIE by the Grand Central Parkway. You have delays eastbound and westbound, mostly slow there westbound heading towards the BQE. Rails look good, everything running on or close to schedule. Rosanna and Curt, back to you.
Inez, thank you very much. Spotify announcing a partnership that includes all three major music companies to develop AI music products.
It will include Universal Music Group, Sony Music Group, and Warner Music Group, as well as digital licensing company Merlin and distribution services company Believe. It did not say what specific software or AI tools will be developed, but stated in a blog post yesterday that the companies are working to create, quote, responsible AI products that empower the artists and songwriters they represent, end quote. Spotify also said that it started to create an AI research lab and product team to develop the AI products. Well, the Alfred E. Smith dinner raised money for a good cause again last night.
All right, the white tie event has been held annually since 1945 to benefit Catholic charities for the poor. Wide range of names from the world of sports, politics, entertainment were there. This year's keynote speakers were former Secretaries of State Antony Blinken and Mike Pompeo.
They weren't the only ones there. Look, Rosanna, looking sharp at the dinner.
Thank you.
Not only were you there as a member of the Fox family, Jack Abernathy, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Fox Television Stations, got a good laugh. I guess that was, you said Blinken and Pompeo were both very funny?
Oh, it's somewhat of a roast, besides getting out a beautiful message. And yes, they were hysterical. And you know who else was good?
Who?
Robert Kraft, your kind of guy.
Owner of the Patriots.
Yes.
Bon
Jovi introduced him.
They're buddies. John Bon Jovi and Robert Kraft.
John Bon
go back
Jovi was
away.
in white tie.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be interesting to see.
I know. I said to him, you clean up nicely.
Exactly.
It was
all right.
good.
Well, all for a good cause once again, and I'm sure you had a good time.
It was a very beautiful time. Anyway.
All right. Thank you. All right, coming up, a new streaming bundle between Apple and Peacock. We'll tell you how much it's going to cost to get both platforms.
And tariffs are now hitting IKEA. What the discount furniture store is doing to try to keep costs low. We'll be right back.
Without the work of New York City's agencies, your city would look like this. But because your agencies deliver for you, a record number of new homes have been created. Streets are safer with crime down citywide. And there's a brand new universal after-school program for our kids. That's how city agencies are delivering for families, making this the very best place for yours. New York City, delivering for you, every day, everywhere.
Let's talk Health Watch. President Trump says he's going to lower drug costs for IVF and is promising to widen access for Americans for infertility treatment. The president said IVF drug maker EMD Serrano agreed to reduce its prices and begin selling their drugs on the Trump administration's website, TrumpRx, for drug discounts.
For years, American couples struggling with infertility have faced crushing costs in their quest to start a family, and IVF is among the most expensive treatments of all. A single round of IVF in the United States can cost up to $25,000, can actually go a lot higher than that.
President Trump also announced a federal guidance that will encourage companies to offer fertility coverage separate from medical insurance plans. And a new study says strong muscles lead to healthy organs.
According to researchers, muscle strength can predict who is most at risk of developing obesity-related organ dysfunction. They say that stronger people are less likely to develop obesity-related heart, liver, or kidney damage, and are even less likely to die. Even just a strong grip is enough to protect against those disorders. And IKEA is raising prices due to President Trump's tariffs.
A company executive told the Wall Street Journal that while its ambition is to cut prices, IKEA will, quote, have to adapt and pass on parts of the cost increase to customers. The executive also said that IKEA is looking at sourcing products such as mattresses from local suppliers. And Apple is reportedly developing its first MacBook Pro with a touchscreen display.
Bloomberg is reporting that the MacBooks are expected to launch late next year or early 2027. The laptops will also reportedly run on Apple's latest line of M6 chips, include thinner and lighter frames, as well as full trackpads and keyboards so that they can also be used like a traditional laptop. The MacBooks will reportedly cost a few $100s more than Apple's current models, which start at $1,600. That's because they contain more expensive parts, according to Apple. Well, two of the biggest video streamers are teaming up to offer viewers a discounted bundle.
Apple TV and Peacock are announcing their new partnership yesterday. Their combined offering will be available next week, starting at $15 a month for an ad-supported version. A premium option with no commercials will cost $20 a month. NBC and Apple also agreed to share some content with each other so their subscribers can get a preview of what the other has to offer. I don't know. I got them all. I got to figure this out.
Exactly.
Is it worth it to cancel what I have?
Well, and that's what I
and then get the bundle? I don't even know.
Because they say the bundle's about 30% less than if you paid for each one individually. But I don't know. Because a lot of times when you do it, you've got to keep it for a certain amount of time rather than being able to cancel it. So I don't know if you can do that.
You know what, Sweet Excess, let us know what you think, whether it's worth us to cancel and then rebundle.
How about just we get somebody from Apple and Peacock, just directly call us.
Can they just do it for us, by the way? This is too much of a chore.
Exactly.
All right, coming up, Ben Max is here. We're going to break down last night's mayoral debate.
And we'll talk sports as well. The Rangers facing off against the Maple Leafs and win in overtime. Could New York end its two-game losing streak? We'll talk about that and much more when we continue on Good Day.
On Fox 5.
Here I am, again in this city, with a fistful of dollars, and baby, you better believe I'm back in the New York groove. I'm back.
We're always in the New York groove, but we're playing Ace this morning because he passed suddenly after a fall. He's only 74 years old.
Yeah, had a brain bleed, passed away at his home in Morristown, New Jersey. Of course, a New York guy. Lead guitarist for Kiss. Rest in peace. At 7:30 this morning, we are happy to have you with us on this Friday. Welcome to Good Day New York. I'm Curt Menefee.
And I'm Rosanna Scotto. We're going to break down the mayoral debate last night because they were in the New York groove, too. But first, Liv Johnson is here. The weather looks very nice so far.
Yeah, it's a little bit chilly this morning, but it's not too bad for your Friday. At least we have plenty of sunshine. We're expecting to just climb into the 60s, about 63 degrees. Still going to be a little bit windy, and it's cool highs overall. It's a little bit below average, but still nice. 47 degrees is your current temperature, so you might want to still bring a jacket, maybe even a coat. I don't judge at this hour, but then we get into the 60s. For Long Island, it's 49 right now. We are still in the 30s for Hartford, Poughkeepsie. Monticello is 38 degrees right now. It's even cooler for some other parts of New York State. Albany is 38. We see 34 for Syracuse, and pushing a little bit further west, some really chilly temperatures, but we'll all get up at least into the mid to upper 50s. If you're down the shore, it's a little bit cooler than inland New Jersey, but 59 degrees will be your high. For Newark and Trenton, 64. If you're out east on Long Island, 62, even all the way out for East Hampton. We have 62 for Hartford and Bridgeport as well. Poughkeepsie, 61. Monticello 57. We will be clear for the weekend. It'll be nice and mild. Then we have a line of showers that approach late Sunday into Monday. But that's really the only thing you have to worry about. It's a little bit breezy today, but again, 63, 65 tomorrow, 72 on Sunday. Just have those showers at night. Now Inez is here to tell us what we can expect this morning on the roads and on the rails.
Hey there, Liv. Street cleaning rules in effect today. Right now, we have a crash on the Staten Island Expressway being cleared. This is eastbound at Clove Road. There was blocking 3 lanes. You can see just the right lane blocked there, but expect heavy delays heading towards the Verrazano Bridge. Then over on the LIE, eastbound by New Hyde Park, accident, right lane blocked, mostly off to the shoulder. Looks like they just reopened that right lane. So a little slow there. Eastbound, westbound side looks good. Rails, everything running on or close. Curt and Rosanna, back to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Well, Election Day is less than 3 weeks away, and the 3 men running to be the next mayor of New York City hit the stage last night for a fiery debate.
What the Assemblyman said is he has no experience. And this is not a job for someone who has no management experience.
And if we have a health pandemic, then why would New Yorkers turn back to the governor who sent seniors to their death in nursing homes?
Thank God I'm not a professional politician, because they have helped create this crime crisis in the city that we face.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who's running as an independent, Republican Curtis Sliwa, and frontrunner Democrat Zoran Mamdani sparred on issues ranging from public safety to housing costs to the war in Gaza. Joining us right now with his analysis is Ben Max, Program Director at New York Law School Center for New York City and State Law, and the host of Max Politics podcast. Nice to have you back on Good Day.
Always good to see you.
So did anybody win last night? Was there a headline from last night's debate?
No game changers from this debate. You don't see anything that's sort of capturing all the headlines and making big waves. But that means that Zoran Mamdani, as the front runner, had a pretty good debate because he didn't make any huge gaffe and nobody really brought him down significantly. But I did think in the debate itself, if you just look at how it was debated, Curtis Sliwa had a pretty good night. That doesn't necessarily mean he's got huge momentum coming out of it, but he was in the middle of the stage there. He had the camera on him a lot. He had a little bit of struggle at the beginning getting a word in edgewise. But he actually, again, he didn't have a primary. So this was one of the first times he's really had this kind of attention on him. And I thought, he had a solid debate. But they all did pretty well in terms of getting their talking points out.
So let's talk about funding, because obviously, Mamdani has been running on, he wants to make New York City affordable, but that includes a big tax increase. Andrew Cuomo last night said basically his funding is a myth.
Mm-hmm. Well,
do you think that hit home with anybody?
Yeah, a little bit. One of the central themes of this whole race is Mamdani has promises and Cuomo saying you don't have experience and your promises are unrealistic. Those are both at least somewhat true. The thing for Mamdani, though, is if he wins this election, he will have that mandate and that momentum to go and try to convince the governor and the legislature to give him some of these tax increases. The governor doesn't want to do that. The legislature in an election year doesn't really want to raise taxes. But if they're going to come to some sort of compromise around raising taxes on people who earn $5 million plus, $10 million plus, that's not going to hold Democrats.
He's going for $1 million.
No, he is, right. But I'm talking about where there's potentially room for him to bring in some of this revenue. At the same time, you have a $200+ billion state budget. If the governor wants to find some money in there to help expand childcare, which she's gotten at, fund more free buses, maybe not the whole system, there's going to be room for compromise there. But right now, he doesn't have any guarantees of that. So he's promising things that we don't know if he'll be able to deliver, and that'll be the #1 thing the next mayor has to do is quickly go to Albany with whatever agenda they have, whoever wins this race.
Okay, so the debate was last night. My question is, in this day and age, can debates really change people's opinions? Or does it really kind of solidify preconceived notions, either positively or negatively, about a candidate?
If you have some big moments coming out of a debate, I think you can sort of rattle people's attention and maybe move some people from one candidate to another. Like I said, we didn't really have that. But a lot of New Yorkers are just starting to really pay attention to this race. You've got just a few weeks till Election Day, so they're getting more impressions of the candidates. When you see them all next to each other, you start to think more, who looks mayoral, who acts mayoral, what do they really stand for?
Is that why Sliwa mentioned right off the bat that he took off his beret, you think?
Well, he's been going around the city talking about this, which is funny. But yes, he wants to be taken more seriously. He says for some New Yorkers, that means I got to take off the beret. So he did a little bit of that. Cuomo trying to draw the discrepancy around experience and stature, and Mamdani talking about it being a new day for a new generation, new vision, you know, leaving behind the old experience. But I think one of the key things coming out of this is when voters start to really pay attention, you've got Cuomo trying to take Republicans from Sliwa and Democrats from Mamdani. Sliwa trying to take whatever Republicans and conservative Democrats Cuomo has. You know, there's a real battle for votes here as we head down the final stretch because we haven't seen a general election like this in modern times with three really, you know, sort of viable candidates.
Okay, so you had the first debate last night. Generally, when there's more than one debate, the second one isn't nearly as tuned into or paid attention to as the first one. With that in mind, what does each candidate have to do going forward, because the next debate's Wednesday, to get a little bit of momentum before early voting starts that weekend?
Well, Mamdani's got the momentum. He's the front runner, right? So he needs to sort of not make any big mistakes and then keep doing the things he's been doing, focusing on affordability, rallying his base. The key for him in the primary, which will be the key for him in the general, is can you turn out your voters in these high numbers, the younger voters who don't always vote? So they're going to be trying to do that. For Andrew Cuomo, going into that second debate, one of the keys for him is he keeps attacking Mamdani, but where is his vision? And he still hasn't been great about saying his plans are unrealistic. Here's my plans, and here's how I'll deliver for New Yorkers. And I think that continues to be one of his biggest weaknesses from the primary into the general. For Curtis Sliwa, it's an uphill battle. He's clearly in third place in this race, but can he's, you know, firing criticisms in both directions, and I thought pretty effectively at the first debate. Can he pull from both, you know, both the other candidates?
Obviously, crime and defunding the police, big topics last night. Mamdani went on TV and said he never said defund the police. And then you go on X, and people have pulled up, I don't know how many tweets.
I think he said he changed. He didn't say he never said it. He said he changed.
Maybe he said I haven't said it in this campaign, which is the dance he's been doing this whole race.
But he has.
Oh, sure.
A bunch of times.
Well, this is where you've seen in the primary and the general him walking away from that and apologizing for tweets about the NYPD, talking about I'm not running on defund the police. This is where voters have to decide.
I know.
Do you
I think
believe
it's
he's had a change
because you know he obviously is beholden to the DSA. The DSA is very strict on what they believe. They've been caught on camera saying that Mamdani's going to toe the line, and Mamdani says, "Go to my." He's been here saying, "Go to my website."
My platform is what's on my website, right?
So who do you believe?
Well, this is for voters to decide, right? Mamdani's saying, "Here's my platform. It's not the DSA platform. Yes, I'm a DSA member, but here's what I'm running on. Here's what I want to deliver."
Is that true? Like, so
well, we all have to decide, and the voters have to decide whether you believe that is his narrow platform or whether he reverts to more of the things he said in the past, believed in the past, whether he is going to be beholden to DSA or he's going to stick with this platform he's put forward. He has promised that he is going to focus on the things he's put forward in this race and bring in professionals to run the government to do the basic services.
He hasn't said who they are.
Well, none of the candidates have really said who they're going to put. Because you don't want to put it out there and then have them go, I'm not serving with you.
Right,
you know?
right.
But this question about whether he would try to keep the police commissioner is out there. I don't know that she wants to stay on under him. That not enough discussion of that probably. But voters have to decide. Do you think this guy has changed his opinion on some of these things where he's had a shift? Or do you think he's just doing that to get votes? And we've seen, obviously, in the Democratic primary, in the polling, you know, people like what he's selling. But every voter has to decide whether they like his platform and whether they believe that he is actually going to only try to do what he said is his platform, and that's what he's put forward.
All right, the next debate, Wednesday. After that, early voting starts on the 25th. 2 weeks from Tuesday is general election day.
Home stretch.
Do you think it'll be a big turnout? Your prediction?
Yeah, I think we're going to see, relative to New York City elections, I think we're going to see a solid turnout, but we're still probably only talking 35% of voters.
Come on, guys, go vote.
Yeah.
Why isn't 1/3 of registered voters?
If you vote for president, you got to vote for mayor. That's my motto.
Well, that's part of the argument about getting it back to a year where there's a presidential election.
That's on the ballot.
That's on the ballot as well. All right.
Ben
We'll talk to you after the next election, or after the next debate.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Ben Max. We'll be back with more Good Day after this.
All right, rush hour, and here are the top stories everybody's talking about as you head out the door. Democrat Zoran Mondani, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who is running as an independent, and Republican Curtis Sliwa facing off for the first of two debates in the city's mayoral election. There will be one more debate next Wednesday.
Today, President Trump will meet at the White House with Ukrainian President Zelensky ahead of a sit-down. Mr. Trump signaled that he's not prepared to sell Tomahawk missiles to Kiev.
Former National Security Advisor John Bolton expected to surrender to authorities today after being indicted on charges that he mishandled classified information. The 18-count indictment accuses him of sharing the information with relatives. Mr. Bolton denies the allegations. All right, shall we talk a little sports? We'll start with a little hockey.
It's basically all hockey. The Rangers were in Toronto looking to end a two-game losing streak. Rangers trailing 1-0 in the third period before scoring to tie the game. It was their first goal after being shut out in the last two contests, and this one would go to overtime. It didn't last long. Less than a minute in, the Maple Leafs scored, 58 seconds, in fact. They win it 2-1 the final. Meanwhile, the Islanders were the last winless team in the NHL. They hosted the Edmonton Oilers. Game tied at 2 in the third period. Isles on the power play. Matthew Barzal feeds it to Bo Horvath for their one-timer. Islanders go up 3-2. Horvat wound up with a hat trick, and the Islanders get their first win of the season, 4-2 the final. As for the Devils, they were at home taking on the Florida Panthers. We pick it up in the second period. Devils down 1-0. Jack Hughes, top shelf. That tied it at 1. Third period, same score. Timo Meier gets the goal. That gives New Jersey the 2-1 lead, and that was all they needed. Devils win that one, 3-1 the final. Well, are you ready to be scared and spooked? Look no further than Blood Manor. It's in Lower Manhattan.
That's a classic place, one of the city's best haunted houses, ready to bring you all the frights. Guess who's there? Crystal Young, taking it to the streets this morning in Lower Manhattan. What's going on, Crystal?
Yes, I'm taking it to the haunted house, and this place is haunted for real. It's on Broadway, and it has such a history. But for 22 years, it's been Blood Manor, and people have been coming to get their pants scared right off them, pants on the floor. Okay, I'm going to slide over to Jim Lorenzo, who owns this place. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So Blood Manor keeps scaring people. I love that it never disappoints. How do you just keep making it better and better? Because I feel like every year there's more to see. There's another labyrinth of scary rooms.
Every year there's more layers.
Okay.
And our director, Nick Piccolo, he's twisted.
Okay.
So he comes up with some pretty crazy stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, there's some wacky stuff that goes on this year.
Okay.
Stuff that I was a little bit concerned about.
Oh.
But really killed it.
Okay.
Killed it.
Let's just talk a little of the history of this building. Yes, yes, yes.
359?
Yeah, yeah.
If you Google it,
yeah.
well, I guess ChatGPT now.
Yeah, yeah.
You'll see Matthew Brady, the photographer that photographed Lincoln.
Oh.
1864, 1860, several times for the $5 bill.
Okay.
And he's got all the Civil War images were here.
Yeah.
So the building is haunted.
Wow.
And you could.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Is he on fire?
I believe that he is.
Why are you pushing?
I'm pushing you away from him. Wait, and I'm scooping up Gabriella. Okay, let's save Gabriella. Gabriella is our trainee, and she is going to be transformed because there is something new that you do here, right? That you can turn someone into someone scary.
100%. What we do is we've offered a new concept. You know, immersive theater, immersive events is what it's all about now. So what we decided to do is create a thing called a scare experience.
Okay.
So as a scare experience, what we'll do is people could purchase a ticket.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not inexpensive because it's a big project.
Okay.
All right. You'll sign up, and then what we do is we actually have you come to the space, and we'll figure out where you would fit. So like you.
I think, I don't mean to cut you off, that she could be a good clown.
I don't know.
I think she could be a good clown, right? We're going to work on that because there's a whole basement area where the transformation happens. Could you be a crazy clown? Could that work for you?
I could. I don't do a lot of scaring.
All right.
I do a lot of laughing.
Okay.
So.
You know what? And she is the sweetest girl. It is so interesting that we're going to turn her into something that is a little freaky, but we're going to do it. And I just have to point out, in this area, you wear 3D glasses, and things really look like they're jumping out at you, and they are jumping out at you. Okay, I'm going to toss it back inside to both of you, Curt and Rosanna. I'm just going to try not to pee my pants. Okay, I'm tossing it back inside. We're going to transform Gabriella. We're having a good time this morning, and in between my hits, I'm going to go get Depends from the CVS because that's sweetie what's coming.
Thank you.
Okay.
TMI
I'm going
this
to toss
morning,
it back inside.
Crystal.
Exactly. I'd be worried about reflectively punching someone, jumping out, scaring you. We'll be back with more entertainment news after this.
Plus, what earlier role helped Jacob Elordi transform into Frankenstein? We'll have that story when we come back.
We know we can't change everything you don't like about shopping, but here at Stop & Shop, we're going all out to improve what we can.
Thank you.
We've seen you doing finger math in the store, but no more of that. You deserve a better way to save.
Heck yeah, I do.
With over 10,000 items always on sale, it's time we actually loved grocery shopping.
Justin, when was the last time you went on break?
I'm on break right now. With so many ways to save, good things are in store at Stop & Shop.
Trenton.
All right, let's check in with Liv for the weather. You know, it's that time of year, cool in the morning, nice in the afternoon. But the weekend sounds like it's just going to be nice.
Yes, it is just going to be nice. Thank you, Kurt. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit more mild for the next couple of days. Like he said, it's a chilly start just that time of year, but then you can ditch the jacket in the afternoon. It's mainly sunny. Really, all we have going on is that it's a little bit windy. Dry stretch ahead, but rain returns for the start of the week, and we have a couple rainy days next week as well. Right now, 47 degrees in New York City. Cool down the shore, though, just 40 for Belmar. We have 49 out on Long Island, still in the 30s for Hartford and Poughkeepsie. Monticello just at 34 right now, but all of us will at least get into the upper 50s. So a high of 63 for New York. That's close to average for this time of year. If you're inland New Jersey, expect low to mid 60s. But if you're down the shore, again, it is going to be cooler, just a high of 59 for Belmar this afternoon. Meanwhile, out east on Long Island, 62 all the way out. We have 62 for Hartford and Bridgeport as well. And Monticello, I know you're 34 right now, but eventually you'll get up into the upper 50s. We still have a northerly breeze bringing some cooler air, but wind speeds aren't too bad right now. We do have wind gusts out east. Expect it to be pretty breezy this afternoon, but not as bad as the past couple of days. We are going to stay dry until Sunday night. We have a low pressure system that's going to bring us rain into our Monday. Tuesday looks mainly clear. We have a chance of seeing a PM shower. But first, let's talk about your Saturday. 65 degrees and sunny. Sunday, 72. Really all around a great day until we get that rain. Until we get that rain at night. Now Inez is here to tell us what we can expect on the roads and on the rails.
Hey there, Liv. Not too bad out there. The FDR Drive in the 70s looking pretty good here. Northbound, southbound, not a lot of traffic there if you're heading into the city. The BQE heading towards the Brooklyn Bridge, you're fine. On the outbound side, though, looks like we have a stall slowing things down there. You have a vehicle there slowing things down, heading towards Atlantic Avenue. Crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, you're fine there. George Washington Bridge, 30 minutes on the upper and lower level. If you're heading towards the Lincoln Tunnel, no delays inbound. The Holland Tunnel, 5 to 10. Rosanna and Kurt, back to you.
Okay, let's talk entertainment news. Inez, Jacob Elordi is discussing his substantial weight loss before shooting the upcoming Frankenstein film.
In an interview with the Los Angeles Times, Elordi talked about how he had to lose a lot of weight for the filming of the upcoming miniseries, The Narrow Road to the Deep North. The actor said his brain was, quote, all over the place, and that he would wake up with his body in such pain. However, he also stated that it ended up being a blessing because he could articulate those feelings for the Frankenstein character, which he began filming after The Narrow Road to the Deep North.
Huh. Okay.
I don't even know what The Narrow Road to the Deep North is. Do you?
No, there's too much stuff out there to keep up with.
And a lot of it apparently has Jacob Elordi in it. All right, the final season of Stranger Things is a little over a month away, and the creative team behind it is bracing for backlash from fans.
Finn Wolfhard plays Mike Wheeler on the show, and he describes the production of the last episodes as a tense time, largely because everyone involved was worried about how they would be received. He says the entire cast and crew were aware of how audiences received the final season of Game of Thrones, saying its fans tore it to shreds. However, he stopped worrying once he read the script, saying he realized that Stranger Things finale would be, as he put it, something special. The 5th and final season starts streaming on Netflix the day before Thanksgiving. And it's Squid Game brought to life.
Yes, we have a new look at season 2 of Squid Game: The Challenge.
The first team to finish will survive.
There's $4.5 million on the line. They're struggling. You got it.
You may remember the show features several of the games from Squid Game. Well, it will feature season 2's games in this season. It also involves 456 contestants competing for a life-changing, as you heard, $4.5 million prize. Squid Game: The Challenge season 2 drops on Netflix November 4th.
I think one of Nick Cannon's baby mamas is in this.
When we come back, new protections for renters. I'm just moving forward. That's it.
I may watch it for that. Anyway, the new bill Governor Hochul is signing to ban landlords from using certain software to set rents.
Right here, right now. Rosanna Scotto, Curt Menefee. Let's have a good day, New York.
All right, it's a little chilly to start the day, but man, it is pretty, and it's going to get prettier. Plenty of sunshine, and it even looks like the weekend's going to be nice. Liv Johnson will have the details.
The candidates for New York City mayor took to the debate stage last night. There was plenty of personal jabs. We're breaking it all down for you.
President Trump is trying to bring peace to another war. We'll tell you what we know about his meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky happening later today.
Plus, one artist using his craft to change his mind. How his art is helping his mental health and inspiring others.
And Grubhub wants to help college students who fall asleep before they get their late-night order. We'll tell you about snooze insurance.
That's funny.
It's really funny. Do you have to be a college student to get it?
I was wondering about that.
Sometimes you fall asleep in the middle of the day. Right now, it is just before 8 o'clock. Thanks for being with us here on this Friday, October 17th. Welcome to Good Day New York. I'm Curt Menefee.
And I'm Rosanna Scotto. The sun is shining, and Liv Johnson is in for Good Time Charlie. Actually, he's under the weather, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's not having a good time, Charlie.
Okay, well, we hope he has a speedy recovery.
We wish him the best. He's got a long weekend to recover.
But anybody who calls out sick on Friday, come on.
I know. It's a little, yeah, you have to be a little skeptical, but no, he was calm.
In his defense, he was sick yesterday and fought through it.
Oh.
Or he was really setting the table. He's a good actor. Maybe that's it.
Exactly. Probably. Yeah. But either way, you know what? It's a good day to be outside and take off work if you can. We have plenty of sunshine. We've had a beautiful sunrise, and most of the weekend is looking pretty good. 48 degrees in New York City. We've crossed into the 50s out on Long Island. We've just crossed into the 40s for down the shore in New Jersey. It's 41, but still hanging on to the 30s if you're up in the Hudson Valley. Monticello 39 right now. So we're all gradually getting there, and today won't be too bad for our temperatures. It's a little bit of a slow start, but we will get into the upper 50s by mid-afternoon. By late afternoon, we'll get into the 60s, expecting about a high of 63 for us. If you're out east on Long Island, pretty much the same thing, 62 for your high. Does stay cool down the shore for the entire day, so just 59. If you're in Belmar, 62 for Hartford and Bridgeport, 61 for Poughkeepsie, and Monticello gets up to 57. Like I said, the weekend looks pretty decent. We have mainly clear skies until late Sunday when we have a line of showers that is going to approach and take us into Monday. So it's a rainy Monday, and it could be a rainy Tuesday evening, but just a PM shower chance right now into Wednesday. More importantly, we have 65 degrees and sunshine tomorrow, and then 70s on Sunday. Now Inez is here to tell us what we can expect on the roads and on the rails.
Hey there, Liv. Well, right now, things on the BQE a little slow heading outbound towards Atlantic Avenue. There's a slow-moving vehicle slowing everyone down. Crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, you're fine. Heading eastbound, no problems at all. And then over on the Gowanus, of course, you have some stop-and-go traffic from the Belts Merge heading towards the BQE. The LIE over by the Grand Central Parkway, usual delays heading westbound, eastbound side, no issues. And with the rails, things look good. Alternate side of the street parking in effect. Curt and Rosanna, back to you.
Okay, thank you, Inez. Well, the three New York City mayoral candidates took to the debate stage last night, and they didn't hold back.
Oh, no, they did not. Fighting for votes, they often fought with one another. Briella Tomasetti digesting it for us this morning. What's going on, Briella?
I'm trying to, but I can tell you this, Rosanna and Curt, the clock is ticking. Only a few weeks until Election Day. It went so quickly. I feel like we were just in the summer, and here we are now. But this was the first face-off since frontrunner Zohran Mamdani crushed Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primary. Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa, well, he's still trying to gain traction, but the stakes were especially high for Cuomo. Last night was one of his last chances to convince voters that choosing Mamdani would be a mistake. Sliwa called Mamdani's plans for the city fantasies, while Cuomo said it's all based on a myth.
There have been a number of absolutely unfounded lies that have been said by Andrew Cuomo.
What the Assemblyman doesn't say is all this money that he wants to pass. The one thing he did do is he voted for a pay raise for himself.
This is like a spat in the schoolyard.
In the first mayoral debate for the 2025 general election, the three candidates traded a series of personal jabs and delivered their pitch to millions of voters with just over a week left until the start of early voting. Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee, Curtis Sliwa, the Republican nominee, and Andrew Cuomo, who's running as an independent, wrangled over contentious topics, including affordability, crime, housing, education, immigration, and foreign affairs. Earlier early on that mayoral hopefuls were asked about how they would deal with President Trump, and things got heated right away.
No matter what you think about Donald Trump, you know that not even being able to name him is an act of cowardice, and that's what we would see from Donald Trump's puppet on the right over here.
If the Assemblyman is elected mayor, Donald Trump will take over New York City, and it will be Mayor Trump who runs New York City.
You lost your own primary, right? You were rejected by your Democrats. You're not going to stand up to Donald Trump.
Even with a strong lead in the polls, Mamdani frequently attacked Cuomo, arguing that the former governor doesn't understand the city's affordability crisis and brought up the sexual harassment allegations that prompted him to resign. Cuomo, who's trying to make a political comeback, found himself on the defense, battling away criticisms from both Mamdani and Sliwa, and arguing that he's the only one experienced enough for the job.
There was a report that was done that had allegations of harassment. None of that came to anything.
Both Cuomo and Sliwa painted Mamdani's agenda as too extreme. During an interview on Fox News Channel earlier this week, Mamdani sidestepped a question about whether Hamas should lay down arms as part of the ceasefire deal. But last night he said,
"Of course, I believe that they should lay down their arms."
Cuomo and Sliwa want to hire thousands more police officers. Mamdani wants to maintain headcount and in the past called for defunding the police. 2 days ago, he apologized for his prior criticisms of the NYPD. Mamdani also faced backlash over his past support for decriminalizing prostitution.
I am not, and nor have I ever called for the legalization of prostitution.
On the theme of affordability, Mamdani wants to implement free bus service, an idea both Cuomo and Sliwa have criticized as unrealistic. Mamdani also declined to endorse fellow Democrat Kathy Hochul for re-election on the debate stage after she endorsed the Queens legislator in his run to lead the nation's biggest city.
Who supports Kathy Hochul for re-election?
It's a decision that should be made after this general election in November.
Why don't you endorse
and I
her?
appreciate it.
How about a shout out for Elise Stefanik to take out Kathy Hochul?
And did you catch this? The candidates even sparred over New York City sports after each one was asked whether they would hypothetically attend a final championship game for the Mets or the Knicks, if they were held on the same night, that is. Cuomo said he'd go half and half. Mamdani said that sort of down-the-middle answer was an example of what's frustrating so many voters. He replied, just pick a team. And Rosanna and Curt, if you were wondering, Sliwa and Mamdani both chose the Knicks. Figured Curt would get a kick out of that question. He loves sports.
I know. What do you think? What can you look into?
I would have gone with the Mets, but all right.
Well, we know why you would go with the Mets. You know what? It depends on which one hasn't been there the longest. Is that going down the middle?
Yeah, obviously.
Exactly. All right.
All right. Let's talk about, thank you so much, Briella. Let's talk about President Trump, because today he's going to try once again to bring peace to another war, this one between Ukraine and Russia.
He's expected to meet with Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky later on today. Haley Fixler joins us with what we know at this point. Haley.
Good morning, Curt, Rosanna. Well, it's not just the meeting with Zelensky. Trump also had a phone call yesterday with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And now it's unclear if the U.S. is going to end up selling special long-range missiles to Ukraine, as previously discussed. So let's break all of this down. The war between Russia and Ukraine is now going into its 4th year. Trump has met with both leaders and has had numerous phone calls with them, all in hopes of ending this conflict. And now things may be developing. Yesterday, Trump and Putin spoke on the phone, and apparently they made, quote, great progress. There are set to be some additional discussions next week between Russian and U.S. officials. And if those talks go well, Putin and Trump, they are set to meet in Budapest within the next 2 weeks.
I think the president is always willing to take a chance at diplomacy, and this war, he has always said, is going to have to end at the negotiating table.
Now, today's meeting at the White House with Zelensky, it could be pivotal. Zelensky has made it known he wants peace and wants to end the war, but he's also been vocal about wanting special Tomahawk missiles to help his forces fight against the Russian military. Now, these missiles, they have a range of 995 miles, and that would allow strikes deep into Russian territory. Zelensky has said they really need them. The thing is, though, Putin and Russian leaders say if the U.S. provides Ukraine with these missiles, there could be consequences. This is what Trump told reporters when asked if Putin tried to dissuade him from handing over some of those missiles.
Would you mind if I gave a couple of thousand Tomahawks to your opposition? I did say that to him. I said it just that way. He didn't like the idea. He really didn't like the idea. No, I said it that way. You have to be a little bit lighthearted sometimes, but no, he doesn't want Tomahawk. Tomahawk is a vicious weapon. It's a vicious, offensive, incredibly destructive weapon. Nobody wants Tomahawk shot at him.
Now, Trump said yesterday he hopes to have, quote, separate but equal meetings with each side to get things done since those two leaders don't quite get along with each other. Zelensky said that he's hoping that Trump's success and momentum with the peace deal in the Middle East will help end this war. Curt, Rosanna?
All right, thank you very much. Well, all eyes will be watching this new effort to end the war in Ukraine. So what can we expect?
All right, joining us right now, Shannon Bream, the host of Fox News Sunday. Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning, guys. Great to see you.
Great to see you. So, what do you think is going to go on with President Zelensky?
Well, I think that it will be a better meeting than they had in February in the Oval Office that we all remember, the most awkward showdown ever in the White House in front of all of those cameras. It seems like President Trump, President Zelensky have really worked on their relationship. They've been a few rounds with each other. But basically, it's going to be a breakdown of whatever President Trump discussed with President Putin. Zelensky does not have any faith in Putin. He goes today, and whether we'll have cameras there for another viral moment.
We will find out.
I hope he wears a suit. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah, the president likes the suit.
All right, let's talk domestic issues and the government shutdown. The representatives, that's the word I was looking for, they've been gone from Washington this whole time. The senators left after the vote yesterday, meaning it's going to be at least Monday before anything else happens. We're 17 days in. Do you see an end in sight to this?
Well, they're starting to have conversations, I think, in the Senate side that might bear a little fruit in moving things. I mean, the 10th time yesterday, they voted down what the House sent over. So the House says, the Speaker says, there's no reason for us to be there. We have prepared a CR that's clean, meaning nothing's cut, nothing's added. It just keeps the government going as, you know, so the military gets paid, air traffic controllers get paid, federal workers get paid, all the services are there, and until we can continue to negotiate. Now, that's supposed to time out right before Thanksgiving, November 21st, if they even get that through the Senate. So we're just going to keep having these cliffs. On the Senate side, it sounds like they're trying to have a conversation with Democrats about what they're most concerned about is those expiring Obamacare subsidies. There's a lot of conversation. If we offer you a way forward on having a conversation on that, will you vote to reopen the government? We'll see. But like you said, probably nothing happening this weekend.
Okay, who's on your show on Sunday?
So we've got Senator Capito with us. She's in leadership there, which hopefully she'll give us a little bit more inside scoop about these negotiations. Is something moving forward or not? We've also got Ciattarelli with us out of New Jersey. Of course, that's a big race that your market is covering as well. Can Republicans pull off what would be sort of an upset there in New Jersey or not? We'll see. The polling favors the Democrat, who is also invited to join us, too.
Okay. Shannon Bream, we're going to watch you Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, right here on Fox 5. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend.
You too. All right, let's talk about losing someone from our area. One of the founding members of the legendary rock band Kiss, Ace Frehley, has died.
Well, his family released a statement yesterday saying that he died surrounded by loved ones at his home in Morristown, New Jersey. This comes after Frehley was hospitalized last month with a brain bleed caused by a fall at his studio. Ace was the lead guitarist for Kiss starting in 1973 before leaving for the first time in 1982. He rejoined the band in 96 and remained until 2002. He was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame along with the rest of the band in 2014 and appeared here on Good Day New York in 2018. Ace Frehley was just 74 years old. Well, when we continue with Good Day New York, we'll talk about the pushback against landlords using software to set rent prices. We'll have much more about the new protection for renters.
Plus, the action is heating up as HBO's drama series Task reaches its finale on Sunday. One of the stars, Jamie McShane, he plays a real bad you-know-what.
That's what he does, though. Remember
he likes that.
I don't know, did you ever see Bloodline? Or did you ever see Sons of Anarchy was the one that really put him on the map as a bad guy?
Did you see him in Wednesday? Anyway, Jamie McShane is here. We'll talk about the finale in the next hour.
Fox Local.
Well, there's a new survey, and it's looking at what recurring smells cause the most arguments in homes. So why do we see people walking and exercising? Because now it's going to fit in. Stay with me on this.
Okay.
So this survey of 2,000 Americans who live with a partner, roommate, or family found that 58% said they argued over recurring smells in shared spaces. 41% called out their partner for having smelly passion with items such as workout gear.
There you go. They're working out, see?
Okay,
Yeah.
pet-related smells also was up there. And gardening-related materials causing, well, the mulch.
Yeah,
The
I was going to say,
do
mulch
that.
can smell.
Yeah,
Mulch, a lot of, and also like fertilizer.
Yeah, it has an odor. Yeah, I agree. 52% said they have secretly replaced items like rugs or carpets to get rid of the odors. How do you secretly replace that?
I was wondering, I'm like, how do you secretly replace a carpet and have no one know? Shh, don't tell them.
Don't say anything. Whip it out while they're gone.
Exactly. All right. Well, those are indoor smells. The smells outside right now are like puppy dogs and sunshine. That's all we have on the forecast, right?
Oh, you think so? I mean, yeah, good enough. Puppy dogs and sunshine. That's,
there we go.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
It makes everybody happy.
Yeah. It was definitely cold this morning, but it's going to be a pretty nice afternoon. 63 degrees in New York City. So like I said, a chilly start. Cool highs overall, right? It's not necessarily warm, but it's not too cold either, and it is a bit windy. That's really the only thing we have going on today. For some other areas, we have 62 out on Long Island. Same thing up in Hartford and Bridgeport. We have 61 for Poughkeepsie. If you're in Monticello, you'll get into the upper 50s this afternoon. I mean, most of us will spend the majority of the day in the upper 50s. We'll just barely cross into the 60s at one point. And if you're down the shore in New Jersey, you won't cross into the 60s at all. We're expecting a high of 59 for Belmar. Right now, though, you still might need a jacket. 48 degrees in New York City, low 50s out on Long Island, low 40s if you're down the shore. That's why they're only getting up to 59 today. Poughkeepsie and Monticello both still in the 30s, but slowly but surely we will get a little bit warmer. Winds have picked up in the last hour or so. It is going to be a breezy afternoon. Right now we have a northerly wind, 5 to 15 miles per hour mostly. And we are gusting right now in New York City and White Plains. Pretty strong wind gusts, 26 miles per hour, 21 out on Long Island. So it's going to be on and off today. You'll get some times when it's calm and then other times when you're getting those strong gusts of wind. We do expect to be dry for the next couple of days until Sunday night. You see this line of showers moving through the area. That's going to take us into Monday, so expect more rain Monday, really just the first half of the day, it looks like right now. Then it could return Tuesday night into Wednesday. But first, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your Saturday. It's going to be 65 degrees. And Sunday, I think we'll cross back into the 70s. Now Inez is here to tell us what we can expect on the roads and on the rails. Good morning, Inez.
Good morning, Liv. The LIE eastbound by New Hyde. You have an accident off to the side there. Little stop and go traffic, but expect less light delays there traveling eastbound. Over on the BQE inbound heading towards the Brooklyn Bridge, you have a nice commute. Outbound side moving better than before. There was a stall by the Gowanus Canal blocking a lane. The George Washington Bridge, if you're heading into the city, it's 30 minutes on the upper and lower level. Lincoln Tunnel, no delays. Holland 5 to 10. Curt and Rosanna, back to you.
All right, and what may be my favorite story of the day, Grubhub is taking steps to accommodate the odd hours of its college customers.
Starting tomorrow, the food delivery service will offer snooze insurance to students living on campus. The company says its research shows that many college students order food in the early morning hours after parties have ended. The problem is 72% of them fall asleep before their order arrives. I never remember falling asleep before my order, but you know what?
Yeah.
We didn't order in. We went to get it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And 72%'s a lot.
I know. Anyway, if that happens, customers who are Grubhub Plus student members will be given a chance to receive a $15 credit towards another meal. Snooze insurance will be available until November 1st.
Just in time for Halloween.
All right, coming up right here on Good Day New York, a freight-filled Halloween at the city's premier haunted house. We're getting a behind-the-scenes look this morning.
And coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, stage and film actor Austin Pendleton. You know him. He stops by to tell us about his new role in the off-Broadway production of Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream.
And if you're heading out the door, don't miss a moment of Good Day. You never know what Curt's going to say that's going to land him in hot water. Yeah.
Curt's the troublemaker.
You can now stream us on your phone anywhere you go. Just download that Fox Local app. You see that QR code there,
yes.
Curt? Just get your phone out right now.
Okay, I got it.
Go to the QR code. It'll take you right there. You're not going to believe how much we're doing. How
much it costs? Tell me, because I've got a budget.
We're giving it away for free, Kurt.
Today only?
No, forever.
Get out.
Well, at least for the foreseeable future.
Okay. Until we figure out how to make money off
right.
it. Yeah.
Good Day New York is coming right back.
Well, if you're ready to be scared, look no further than one of the city's best and most popular haunted houses, Blood Manor.
All right, well, we're getting a behind-the-scenes look this morning with all the spooky details. Crystal Young taking it to the streets in Lower Manhattan. What do you know, Crystal?
I know that you thought that I was joking, but look at what my T-shirt says. Every now and then, you gotta make sure that you don't tinkle because this place is really scary and it has been scaring people for 22 years. The owner, though, Jim Lorenzo, he is not scary at all. He is the coolest guy, and I know that I am in good company because people like Kevin Hart have come through and Jimmy Fallon. I mean, you've had some people that you really did a number on, correct?
Tons of celebrities, yes. Okay. We've done a number on them.
All right. I like it.
Yeah.
How do you keep topping yourself year after year? And who is this behind us? What is happening here?
This is, I'm not sure who this is.
Oh, okay.
He just kind of appeared.
Okay,
so
okay.
We do different things every year. Like I said, my actors, my directors, we come up with cool stuff.
Yeah.
And we do, not only we scare people and kind of get them to wet their pants, we also do some really cool stuff here, too.
Okay, all right.
We have an awesome charity.
Yeah. Come on, I want you to talk about it, but we're gonna move past the sort of scary people I'm looking behind me, but please tell me about the charity.
So on Tuesday, October 28th, every nickel, dime, and penny that we raise with our friends from Z100, okay, they're going to come and get dressed. Okay?
Yeah.
And then everything we do is going to be going to St. Jude in memory of my son Joseph, Joey Lorenzo, who passed from colorectal cancer.
Okay.
So we want to create awareness
I think that is such a good thing, Jim, that you are doing.
Yeah, my son's going to save a lot of people's lives because people are going to go get colonoscopies.
Yes, that is important. Now, wait a minute. We are in a clown area, and we did transform Gabriella. She went downstairs. There's a whole area with costumes and makeup. It's laid out. It's one of the new fun things that you can do. You can buy a ticket, come in, and then turn into someone scary. Okay, let's have the camera pan around. Let's see if we know who Gabriella is. Do we see her transformation? She's going to learn how to scare people. Is this Gabriella? Wait, hold on one second. Let's keep going. This is Gabriella. This is Gabriella. Okay, Gabriella is gonna get her scare on. I know she's got it in her.
Yes,
Gabriella.
I'm gonna try.
All right, no, you're not gonna try. You're gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
All right,
I'm gonna
she's gonna do it.
That's
All right. All right. Oh, no smiling, no smiling. Okay, wipe the smile off her face. I have to tell you, my hair looked like this morning. This is why I have a hat on, but it wasn't orange. All right, we're gonna have so much more fun at Blood Manor coming up. How long does this last? Until what date?
We're here until November 7th and 8th. We're going to do lights out, where all the lights get turned off the last weekend, and we give you a glow stick.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right. Now we're going to have a go stick, which is go back to the studio, but come back because we're going to be here with more fun in the 9 o'clock hour. Bye, guys. Rosanna, he's calling you out. He says you've been invited and you don't come.
I know. Elvis usually wants me to go there.
I know your hairdresser.
I get nervous with those kind of things. Thank you.
Do you think when Gabriella signed up to be a trainee in the newsroom, she thought she'd be dressed as a clown on a Friday?
No, I was like, is that really Gabriella? And you go, that's her. Wow, that's good.
Multitasking, I guess. The more you can do, right? All right, when we come back, we'll tell you how you can get your hands on some MTA memorabilia at a pop-up later today.
Plus, Tamsin Fidel will be here in the next hour. She's raising awareness about menopause. Today is World Menopause Day. Actually, it's tomorrow. I don't know if you have it in your calendar, but you should know about it, Curt, just in case. Anyway, Good Day New York is coming right back.
Trenton.
You grew up riding the subways, running with people. Up in Harlem, down on Broadway, you're no tramp, but you're no lady. Talking that sweet talk.
Come on, Curt.
You're the heart and soul of New York City.
Yes.
I can hear everyone but Curt.
Well, no, it's like I don't want to disrupt it. It's like listening to In Vogue or some ladies group. You guys got it together.
All right,
Some
Liv,
ladies group.
Liv, you're the newbie. You got to move a little bit on this 8:30 on Friday.
I always get picked on. Okay, I'll move a little bit.
Okay, because on Fridays, you know what we do. We celebrate New Yorkers, native New Yorkers, those who want to be a part of this city.
Yes, we want you to show off by joining us, because every Friday we choose one viewer as our native New Yorker of the day.
Oh.
My wire.
It's like everybody all together now. She's into it.
That's Carrie Dones from Queens with her little rendition of Native New Yorker. She's our Native New Yorker of the day. Inez, so sweet, right?
Adorable.
I love the whole look there.
Moving more than Curt.
Yes, she is.
She just learned how to walk.
Maybe she was trying to walk. I'm not quite sure, but she's got it. She's got it down. If you want to be
it's Friday.
featured
Don't you want
as
to do
our
a little
next
something?
native New Yorker,
Come
all
on.
you have to do is just send us a clip of you singing, dancing, or enjoying the Odyssey song. Just use the QR code right there. On your screen, it comes directly to us.
I've seen you dance with your friend Michael, okay?
Oh, really?
When?
You cheat on us.
I don't know, like some Super Bowl party or something.
Maybe in the future. You're dreaming. You're way
Fingers
ahead.
crossed.
You're way ahead.
If the Giants make it to the Super Bowl or the Jets,
Okay.
you want to go with? You want to go with that?
You got it, promise.
Yes.
They've got to combine 2 wins right now, so yes, okay?
I figured you'd say yes.
I don't have to worry about it, I don't think, this year. Liv?
All right. Well, it's going to be a nice day outside, you guys. A nice day to dance outside. But right now, still a little chilly. 48 degrees in New York, 41 down the shore. We've crossed into the 50s, though, out on Long Island. Still at 40 for Hartford. If you're up in Hudson Valley, still in the upper 30s. It's taken a while, okay? The warm-up is not happening quickly, but it is going to happen. We get up to 63 in New York, mid-60s if you're in inland New Jersey, but much cooler down the shore. So upper 50s. Really, most of us will spend the afternoon in the upper 50s, but eventually get into the low 60s. Like Long Island, expecting high of 62. Hartford, Bridgeport, same thing. Monticello, upper 50s. It's going to stay nice and sunny the entire day. Really, the whole weekend is looking good because we have some high pressure helping us out, but it isn't going to last too long because by late Sunday night, we have an area of low pressure moving through. That will bring us some rain to start our week off. So it's kind of a rainy Monday. Not looking too bad. It will be done by the afternoon, but still, you can enjoy your weekend. 65 tomorrow, 72 on Sunday, you guys. I know we have those nighttime showers, but you can still enjoy the day. And then a little cooler to start the week, but mainly in the 60s through next week. Now, Inez is here to tell us what we can expect on the roads and on the rails in just 1 second. We've had some issues this morning, Inez.
We have, but all in all, Liv, it's been pretty good right now. The LI over by the Grand Central Parkway, slow as usual, eastbound and westbound. Everyone heading to work. The Gowanus, a bit sluggish there by 38th Street, heading towards the BQE. And crossing the Mario Cuomo Bridge, it's been a pretty good commute. No troubles Westchester bound or Rockland County bound. Rails look good. Everything running on or close. Alternate side, that's in effect. Curt and Rosanna, back to you.
Inez, thank you so much. Westchester County Police are asking for help finding this group of young men.
Yeah, they're accused of breaking into Rye Playland after arriving by boat, vandalizing the park, and stealing hundreds of carnival prizes. Good Day's Richard Giacovis shows us the damage.
Playland's summer season has come and gone, but weeks later, the lights, at least in one part of the historic amusement park, remain on. And this may be the reason why. It was a few weeks ago in the middle of the night when these 3 guys, police say, decided to take a ride over to Playland while it was dark for what they may have thought were some fun and games.
People doing stupid ideas are going to do stupid things.
Westchester County Police releasing this photo taken off of a surveillance camera inside one of the ride tunnels at Playland overnight on the 24th of September. They're asking for help finding out who these men are and why cops say they took it upon themselves to ransack parts of the park before taking off.
And I just think they need security.
That trio caused trouble right away a few nights ago when they came ashore on a boat that they rowed here to Playland Beach. They got off, hopped up onto the boardwalk, and their first stop was to grab a hold of this photo booth. They tried to lift it from the bottom and throw it into the sound. They were unsuccessful, but the vandalism didn't stop there. This image shows them caught in the act, except they couldn't muster enough strength to lift it. Then the group must have climbed over the gates and found themselves inside an electrical room where they ripped out fiber optic cables to cut off phone and Wi-Fi service. Before they left, they allegedly snagged about 200 stuffed animals and hauled them away in garbage bags.
That's very scary that's coming here. Yep.
In a statement, Westchester County Executive Ken Jenkins called the incident infuriating and heartbreaking, saying in part, quote, "Being young is one thing, being destructive is another. I am angry and deeply disappointed by the actions of the individuals who broke into Playland Park and caused such senseless destruction. Playland belongs to all of us, and it deserves our protection, not our destruction."
Those guys are going when they eventually do find them. I'd say their parents are going to be mighty disappointed in them.
If you recognize the shameless trio, call Westchester County Police's General Investigations at 914-864-7916. Richard Giacovis, Good Day, New York.
All right, the Mamaroneck School District and the village are sparring over the construction of a solar panel carport.
So the Mamaroneck School District said it commissioned this contract a few years ago, proposing installation of solar panels above all school parking lots in the village. However, the people who live around there say all the dredging and concrete underground will only cause more flooding and put their neighborhood at risk of being destroyed.
Anyone with a 5th grade education can understand that if you put solid rock in water, it makes the water come up. You're putting concrete in the ground, in the water table, on top of the aquifer, where we already flood.
The school superintendent noted that this project went through a procurement process, and although it doesn't require voter approval, the state approved the project. But as of now, the project's still at a standstill. And New York City's Open Street program is being challenged in court.
Local disability advocates are suing the city, claiming the program that shuts down streets across the 5 boroughs for pedestrian access violates the Americans with Disabilities Act. A federal judge heard arguments from both sides. The plaintiffs claim many disabled people cannot lift or operate barriers to enter the blocked-off areas. In a statement, a City Hall spokesperson said the program improves safety, gives people access to open spaces, and promotes greater equality for all. And Mayor Eric Adams and Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch have announced the creation of a specialized domestic violence unit.
It will consist of around 450 investigators spread across the 5 boroughs. The new unit comes
antitrust laws to include the algorithmic software. It comes as the Council of Economic Advisors says that price-setting algorithms cost renters across the U.S. an estimated $3.8 billion more in inflated rents in 2023. In August, the Justice Department filed an antitrust lawsuit against RealPage, a company that uses algorithms to give landlords price recommendations.
14 subway stations will be getting new customer service centers this year.
The MTA announced the new centers will open in stations throughout Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, and the Bronx by the end of this year. It all comes as the agency looks to make multiple changes in subway stations, including a full transition to the Omni system and an upcoming fare increase in January. To find out which stations will be getting the new customer service centers, check the MTA website. And today is the last day an MTA pop-up store in Gravesend, Brooklyn will be open.
So it's selling vintage items from subway and bus lines, everything from station signs to tokens and maps. Many people who went to buy something expressed glee at getting things that would otherwise go in the trash.
It's a little heavy, but the 182nd, 183rd Street sign, and that's exactly where my whole family lives, so this is really means a lot to me.
And I actually came, funny enough, for an NYU sign. That was my goal, and I said in the line, I said, I really want an NYU sign.
Okay, that's nice. The MTA pop-up store is open today from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. You know what they say, one person's trash is another one's treasure.
I totally get that, though, especially a place you grow up or a place you used to go.
It's
is
nice
your stop.
memento.
Exactly.
All right, coming up on Good Day, the story of one artist using his craft as therapy while raising awareness and inspiring others.
And later, speaking of artists, viral artist and native New Yorker Devon Rodriguez is getting ready to release his first clothing line. We'll hear what inspires his work. You know him. He's the guy who draws the people on the subways.
He's like huge on all those social media.
60 million followers across social media. You don't have to be one of those. All you have to do is stick around, and he'll be right here on Good Day, the 9 o'clock hour.
Without the work of New York City's agencies, your city would look like this. But because your agencies deliver for you, a record number of new homes have been created. Streets are safer with crime down citywide. And there's a brand new universal after-school program for our kids. That's how city agencies are delivering for families, making this the very best place for yours. New York City, delivering for you, every day, everywhere.
Exceptions.
All right, we are going to introduce you to a lifelong artist. He also suffers from depression, and he's using art as a form of therapy.
Yeah, we sent Good Day Wake Up anchor Tashani Whitlow to check it out. Investigative reporter, a little I-Team report, and this is really not only a cool therapy, but some good-looking stuff.
Absolutely amazing. And the fact that he does this all by hand with just a tufting gun, we'll explain what tufting is.
Okay.
But he's a lifelong artist, as you mentioned. He's only been tufting for 2 years. Just recently started selling his work 4 months ago and already had a residency in the mayor's house. So let's talk about the artist, Charlie Seratoff. He found a way to work with his hands and also keep his mind clear. And now he's sharing his story to inspire others.
I take very challenging, like I said, mental health issues, or in a lot of cases, existential emotional experiences that we all have, and I make an attempt to come up with a visual for them.
For as long as Charlie Seratoff can remember, he's been connected to art.
I've always found a sense of flow in the creative process, so I've always gravitated towards it. This has been the first medium that I've found that really combines graphic, but it's also sculptural. What you might have a hard time seeing unless you're very up close is that each of the individual panels of a rug or yarn or color are hand sculpted, that I use the clippers in order to give them a certain shape and depth. And so for me, it very much satisfies this like tactile need to work with my hands to create, with this other like need to create these like beautifully visual compositions.
Charlie, who has spent the last 20 years in tech, building and designing software as a product manager, suffers from depression and found comfort in tufting 2 years ago.
I found it to be incredibly therapeutic, almost as a form of like art therapy.
Tufting is a textile art that uses a tufting gun to punch yarn through fabric, blending design, therapy, and craftsmanship to turn personal stories into colorful, textured works of art.
Last November, I started taking concepts from my own personal mental health journey and then creating visualizations as a way for me to process those very challenging and confronting things about myself.
This This piece is called Feelings Aren't Facts. It represents a job loss can shake your confidence, but not your strength.
She is like powerful, planted, stoic, present, staring forward, rooted into the ground, while what's a representation of like overwhelming feelings, the red and white kind of circles gravitating around her head are trying to overwhelm her, but she's not really like paying those any mind, not paying them any heed. The one on the left is called Magical Thinking. Now, this is probably one of my most abstract pieces, if not the most abstract piece. And it's magical thinking, for people who aren't aware, is representative of the idea of manifesting possibility.
The design process can take a day or it can take a month.
So I'm partially red-green colorblind. And a big reason that I gravitate towards these incredibly bold colors and high contrast is because, well, it's a lot easier for me to see. And I can only imagine what it must look like to others.
Blending his love of art and tech, he created a 5-second animation that brings his vibrant work to life, creating a space where people can connect and feel seen.
I want to continue making art that makes people feel a little less alone, and I really want to encourage people to find outlets and mediums, especially in the art therapy sector, that can help them with their mental health journey as well.
And so how about this? As beautiful as those pieces are, we actually have 2 of those pieces right here in the studio. Let's open it up wide. We got Curt and Rosanna here to show you some of Charlie's pieces. Now this one here, this is called Bliss. This is about us taking in those moments, those experiences. For instance, like right now, me talking to you, not worrying about everything else I have going on, but just being in the moment and having an experience.
How is it possible with tufting you can get this kind of emotion?
It's
Do you know what I mean?
amazing.
It's not one-dimensional.
No,
it's not at all.
And it's like something, I mean, obviously the rugs, but you can't put that on the floor. It's got to hang on the wall, because as soon as people walk in, it creates a conversation.
Totally. I said to him, I have folks taking off their shoes for my Wayfair rug. There is no way I'm going to have somebody step on this rug. But just beautiful pieces. And that one there is called Replicant Dreams. It's just about capturing those different pieces of us.
But selling it for 4 months? Does he have a lot of artworks? And how do you find it?
So he has, thank you, Curt. We almost forgot. This is the whole point of this. So he has a show tomorrow, if you want to check out his pieces tomorrow. The show will be taking place at he'll be showcasing his art. Let me get this together. Studio 260 NYC in Midtown. It's going down tomorrow, 3 to 8.
All right.
So you can check out the pieces in person.
Beautiful.
They really are.
Thank you.
Thank you for introducing them to us.
All right, let's talk weather. It's a great day to get out there, check out the art.
There you go. Liv?
Yes, absolutely. It's going to be a beautiful day, not as beautiful as those carpets, but it's still going to be a nice one. Although it is going to take a while to warm up, we're still, a lot of us in the 40s, but most of us crossing into the 50s. Eventually, we'll probably settle in the upper 50s, low 60s throughout the tri-state. So it's kind of chilly, but not too bad. It's going to be another windy one, okay? 5 to 15 mile per hour wind speeds right now consistently, but we are seeing some wind gusts in the area right now in New York City, 26 miles per hour, 21 out east on Long Island. All of us will probably just go in and out of seeing those strong wind gusts as we go through these late morning hours into the afternoon. But it is going to stay nice and sunny, barely a cloud in the sky when we look at our live picture. And it's really going to stay like that for the next few days. Kind of a mix of sun and clouds for your Saturday, Sunday, but then late Sunday night, really more like Monday mornings at 1 o'clock in the morning on our Futurecast, you can see an area of low pressure and a line of showers ahead of a cold front going to make its way, again, late Sunday into early Monday morning. So you might have a messy commute Monday morning, but then it kind of dries up by late afternoon hours, it looks like. Like I said, most of us will get into the upper 50s or low 60s today, 63 in New York City, 61 up in the Hudson Valley, but upper 50s down the shore. Then tomorrow, even a little bit warmer, 65 degrees and sunny. If you're down the shore, it'll be 61, mid-60s out east on Long Island. Then Sunday is even warmer, 72 degrees. Plenty of sunshine during the day, but then really late at night, we get those showers into Monday, and then repeat showers Tuesday night into Wednesday. Now Inez is here to tell us how the roads and the rails are looking for us this morning. Hi, Inez.
Hey there, Liv. If you're heading towards the Grand Central, of course, you have delays. This is eastbound from the LIE heading towards the Kew Gardens interchange, moving slow. Westbound, you're fine. BQE crossing the Kosciuszko Bridge, slow as you head towards the lower East River crossings there. So westbound, delays back to the Long Island Expressway. Heading towards the LIE eastbound, you're good there. GWB, it's about 30 minutes heading towards the upper and lower levels inbound. If you're heading towards the Lincoln Tunnel, no delays. Same goes for the Holland. Rosanna and Curt, back to you.
Okay, Inez, if you're a fan of the Disney franchise Frozen, you're in luck. Looks like there's another installment coming your way. We'll tell you exactly when you can expect it.
Also, Jamie McShane from HBO's Task joining us at 9 o'clock. You know, he stars as Perry. He's a gang member. He is a bad you-know-what.
Shut your mouth.
Anyway, he's going to be here talking about the finale. We're going to try to get some stuff out of him, right? At 9.
Scoopage.
Okay, at 9.
Cheryl.
Santa baby, a 54 convertible to light blue.
I'm sorry.
I'll wait up.
I'm sorry, it's too soon.
We haven't even gotten to Halloween yet.
I'm sorry, it's too soon. Whose idea was this? Why?
Don't we have some?
Because they're putting up
Thriller.
You know what? They're putting up the Christmas decorations. That's what it is. People,
really?
Yeah. You know they start early in Manhattan.
Inez does. I know that for sure.
Inez has it up 24/7. You know, 350 days. Whatever.
What happened to the other 15?
I don't know.
She takes them down for 2 weeks and puts them back up.
She takes them down. Yeah, she got to clean them. She got to clean them, brush them off, take the whatever.
There you go.
Let's talk entertainment, shall we? It's nearly that time of the year for a Lifetime Network slate of holiday movies.
And that's why we're playing the music.
I thought they were putting the decorations up.
No, it's because of Lifetime. The cable network is set to air no less than a dozen new Christmas-themed films this season, and they include Christmas Every Day, starring R&B singer Brandy Norwood and her daughter, Cyrus Smith. Another offering is A Pickleball Christmas, whose cast includes James Lafferty and Zibby Allen. Lifetime's holiday showings will begin airing November 29th, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and then it will premiere 2 new movies every weekend for the rest of 2025.
A Pickleball Christmas, that's a new one.
Bringing all worlds together. Hey, Kristen Bell is providing an update on the upcoming 3rd Frozen film.
So the actress who plays Anna in the franchise told Variety that production on the movie will soon start and that she has seen a script, but that it's saying, I'm under lock and key. Frozen 3 is currently set to be released in 2027. And Pop Culture Jeopardy getting another season, but not on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, the game show has been renewed for a second year, but switching over to Netflix. The change is reportedly due to a shift in strategy by Prime Video executives who agreed to allow Sony Pictures Television to shop the Jeopardy spinoff to other outlets. Variety reports that Colin Jost is in talks to return as host in the new season. Pop Culture Jeopardy debuted on Prime last December and ran through March. New episodes, well, they're expected to arrive on Netflix sometime next year. And Keanu Reeves is talking about how he briefly changed his name early on in his acting career.
All right, during an appearance on the New Heights podcast, he said that he first moved to Hollywood. His manager wanted him to change his name. He said that at first he was going by Chuck Spadina. Chuck Spadina.
And that's better than Keanu Reeves?
I don't know. Chuck Spadina? He doesn't look like Chuck Spadina, but Chuck for his middle name, Charles.
Okay.
And Spadina was the name of the street he grew up on. Oh, it's like that. You know, that game that you play?
Exactly, yes.
Interesting. He said that he became Casey Reeves.
Okay.
He was credited as such in an episode of the 1986 series, The Magical World of Disney. But you know what? After 6 months with that name, he said he, quote, could not do it. He went back to being Keanu Reeves.
You know, the New Heights podcast, which he was on, that's the Travis and Jason Kelsey podcast.
Oh, is that what it is?
I wonder if this is their thing now, because remember a while back, Leonardo DiCaprio was on there. And talked about how, I was going to do a different name. So every actor they get on, they get to talk about what their name was going to be.
How about you? Well, we'll do it right here. Did you ever want to change your name?
Well, I guess I sort of. I mean, you know, my given name's Curtis, so I go by Curt. So I don't know if that counts. When I started out in the business, I was Curtis. And then when I got to be a weekend sports anchor, the news director says, I think you should change your name to Curt. It's more sporty.
What would your name be if you use your, what is it, the street address?
Yes, yeah, we won't get into that one at all.
All right.
No.
All right, we got to get ready for the 9 o'clock hour on Good Day New York. Jamie McShane's here from the hit HBO drama series Task. The finale is Sunday. We're going to try to get some details out of him.
And we've also got award-winning actor Austin Pendleton. He's starring in the off-Broadway production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Plus, podcast host Tamsin Fadal is back. She's talking women's health with World Menopause Day happening this weekend.
From Fox 5 New York, this is Good Day New York.
All righty, look at how pretty the sun is really out this morning, but it's not giving off much heat. It's starting off chilly, but otherwise we're in for a pretty nice week and mild. Liv Johnson has all the details for us.
I can look at that shot for
I know.
Well, the 3 New York City mayoral candidates were facing off for the first time on the debate stage as we draw closer to Election Day. There are plenty of jabs, but were New Yorkers swayed to change their votes?
The music world remembering rock legend and original Kiss guitarist Ace Frehley. We're taking a look back at his legacy.
And star of the hit HBO crime drama Task, Jamie McShane joins us ahead of Sunday's heart-stopping finale.
What's he going to do in this one? And he's a New York native, captured social media attention with quick, impromptu sketch portraits of subway riders. Now Devon Rodriguez preparing to launch his own fashion line. I hope he brings us a little something. What do you think?
I hope so. We'll find out.
Oh, you think he'll sketch us too? No, he's bringing the fashion, right?
This is a busy day for him.
We'll
find out.
Okay, well, maybe the next time. Anyway, good day, New York. It is Friday.
I'm Curt Menefee.
I'm Rosanna Scotto.
We're going to talk about yes, mayor's race.
Jinx.
Yep, yeah. What's it, buy me a Coke? Is that what it is?
Right,
Whatever.
exactly.
All right, let's talk about the mayor's race because last night was the big first debate of the hopefuls, making their case live in front of everybody. Things got a little bit heated.
Oh, yes, they were fighting hard to be well heard and maybe win over a few undecided voters. Briella Tomasetti's here. Did that really happen? You think somebody sitting at home said, you know what? I heard something.
You know what? I'm no political analyst, Curt and Rosanna. I didn't see a huge game changer last night. I think any opinions that people had of these candidates probably are the same today as they were yesterday. But a good thing to note that this is the first face-off since frontrunner Zohran Mamdani crushed Andrew Cuomo in the Democratic primary. Republican nominee Curtis Sliwa is trying to gain traction, but the stakes were especially high for Cuomo. Last night was one of his last chances to convince voters that choosing Mamdani would be a mistake. Sliwa called Mamdani's plans for the city fantasies, while Cuomo said it's all based on a myth.
There have been a number of absolutely unfounded lies that have been said by Andrew Cuomo.
What the Assemblyman doesn't say is all this money that he wants to pass. The one thing he did do is he voted for a pay raise for himself.
This is like a spat in the schoolyard.
In the first mayoral debate for the 2025 general election, the three candidates traded a series of personal jabs and delivered their pitch to millions of voters with just over a week left until the start of early voting. Zohran Mamdani, the Democratic nominee, Curtis Sliwa, the Republican nominee, and Andrew Cuomo, who's running as an independent, wrangled over contentious topics, including affordability, crime, housing, education, immigration, and foreign affairs. Early on, the mayoral hopefuls were asked about how they would deal with President Trump, and things got heated right away.
No matter what you think about Donald Trump, you know that not even being able to name him is an act of cowardice, and that's what we would see from Donald Trump's puppet on the right over here.
If the Assemblyman is elected mayor, Donald Trump will take over New York City, and it will be Mayor Trump who runs New York City.
You lost your own primary, right? You were rejected by your Democrats. You're not going to stand up to Donald Trump.
Even with a strong lead in the polls, Mamdani frequently attacked Cuomo, arguing that the former governor doesn't understand the city's affordability crisis and brought up the sexual harassment allegations that prompted him to resign. Cuomo, who's trying to make a political comeback, found himself on the defense, battling away criticisms from both Mamdani and Sliwa, and arguing that he's the only one experienced enough for the job.
There was a report that was done that had allegations of harassment. None of that came to anything.
Both Cuomo and Sliwa painted Mamdani's agenda as too extreme. During an interview on Fox News Channel earlier this week, Mamdani sidestepped a question about whether Hamas should lay down arms as part of the ceasefire deal. But last night he said,
Of course, I believe that they should lay down their arms.
Cuomo and Sliwa want to hire thousands more police officers. Mamdani wants to maintain headcount and in the past called for defunding the police. 2 days ago, he apologized for his prior criticisms of the NYPD. Mamdani also faced backlash over his past support for decriminalizing prostitution.
I am not, and nor have I ever called for the legalization of prostitution.
On the theme of affordability, Mamdani wants to implement free bus service, an idea both Cuomo and Sliwa have criticized as unrealistic. Mamdani also declined to endorse fellow Democrat Kathy Hochul for re-election on the debate stage after she endorsed the Queens legislator in his run to lead the nation's biggest city.
Who supports Kathy Hochul for re-election?
It's a decision that should be made after this general election. In November.
Why don't you endorse her?
I appreciate it.
How about a shout out for Elise Stefanik to take out Kathy Hochul?
So this morning, Mamdani is set to host a reverse town hall at 11:15 with New York City union workers, where he plans to ask them questions. Sliwa just put out his public schedule a little while ago. He's going to take questions from reporters on subway crime this afternoon before attending the wake of Nicola Tanzi, who was beaten to death at the J Street station just over a week ago. Cuomo has yet to release his public schedule for the day. And as a reminder, if you didn't already mark your calendars, all three candidates facing off again Wednesday, October 22nd.
So last night, I was at the Al Smith dinner, and Governor Kathy Hochul was there. And she's like, what are we doing? We have to listen to the debate. I'm like, so I'm in a corner with John Catsimatidis and Barry Weiss, who's the new, I guess, head of CBS News.
Yes.
And we're like listening to part of the debate and trying to figure out what was being said.
And he's pretty quick to say, you know, listen, you know, we're at the stage of the debate. We've got to wait and see until this thing is over.
I think, I don't know. I don't want to get too in the weeds here, but it's one of those things, as we talked about earlier, I'm not sure that either candidate swayed anybody. They may have reinforced their own candidacy and gotten their supporters in their camp. The one thing I did find really interesting, though, and you played it there at the end, was when the moderators asked who wants to endorse Kathy Hochul. Look, we've talked about it before. I think endorsements are a little bit overrated right now, but considering she's gone out on a limb for Zohran Mamdani, for him to not raise his hand and go, let's wait till the election's over, I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out with the governor.
And her endorsement could be key when it comes to a lot of things that he wants to do. Should he become mayor, you know, then he's got to go right to Albany and lay out his agenda there. Having her in his pocket would certainly help, but we were just talking about it being the summer. It was early. There's a lot of time for people to change their opinions. Right now, people have got to kind of lock down, and New Yorkers weren't thinking about this then.
Well,
now they are.
He's also changed his stance on a number of things, including, you know, Hamas laying down their weapons. 2 days ago, he said...
Apologizing.
2 days ago, he said he didn't think it was necessary. Last night, he said it was necessary.
In fairness, Cuomo has too. I think, in all honesty, again, I'm not a political analyst, so I should probably shut my mouth. But the only one that really has been steady with everything he said is Curtis Sliwa. Everyone else has kind of been like one thing, one thing. No, I'm just saying that's the honest answer.
Except yesterday when he was asked his favorite president, living or dead, and he said Pataki. A little bit of a slip up, but we love Curtis anyway.
All right. Before we get in trouble, let's get to Liv.
All right, let's just clear the air and talk about weather, shall we? A little bit easier, okay? And you know what? A pretty nice day. It's going to be a chilly start. We've already gone through that. Sunny, but windy and cool. So it might look a little deceiving when you see all the sunshine, but actually you might want to layer up at least for these later hours of the morning. Dry stretch ahead. Really, we're already in that dry stretch, and we will see rain return at least by Monday morning. But overall, pretty mild and nice this weekend. We expect to get to a high of about 63 degrees. Like we said, a chilly start. Cool highs. This is pretty typical for this time of year, though, in terms of where we're going to end up later this afternoon. But for now, we're just crossing into the 50s. So we have a while to go before we're in the 60s. 50 degrees in New York, 53 out on Long Island. We're still stuck in the 40s, too, for Hartford, Poughkeepsie. Look at Monticello, still 37 degrees. But don't worry, all of us will at least get into the upper 50s. Most of us will spend the majority of our afternoon in the upper 50s. 59 will be your high down the shore in New Jersey. 62 out on Long Island. Same thing with Hartford and Bridgeport. In Monticello, I know you're still in the 30s, but we will get up into the upper 50s. The only thing we have going on today really is that it's going to be another breezy afternoon. Wind speeds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Gusting, though, at about 20 to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow's nice and mild, 65 degrees and sunny. Back into the 70s on Sunday, but then we have showers really late night into Monday. Now we have Inez going to tell us about what we have on the roads and the rails this morning. Good morning, Inez.
Good morning, Liv. It's been a pretty good commute this morning. Just typical delays. Street cleaning rules are in effect right now. Look at the LIE over by Roseland Road. You have a nice commute eastbound and westbound this morning. The FDR Drive in the 70s looking great. Both directions, there's a nice flow. And of course, you have delays on the Gowanus there over by 38th Street as you head towards the BQE. There is a stall by Atlantic Avenue blocking a lane. The George Washington Bridge, it's about 10 minutes there inbound on the upper and lower levels. If you're heading towards the Lincoln Tunnel, no delays. The exclusive bus lanes are actually closing down at 9:30. The Holland Tunnel, no delays either. And the rails, everything running on or close. Curt and Rosanna, back to you.
Okay, Inez, one of the founding members of the legendary rock band Kiss, Ace Frehley, has died.
Well, Ace Frehley's family released a statement yesterday saying he died surrounded by loved ones at his home in Morristown, New Jersey. It all comes after Frehley was hospitalized last month with a brain bleed caused by a fall in his studio. Ace was the lead guitarist for Kiss starting in 1973. Before leaving for the first time in '82, He rejoined the band in 1996 and stayed there until 2002. He was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the rest of KISS in 2014 and appeared here on Good Day New York in 2018. Ace Frehley was just 74 years old.
Just ahead on Good Day, a lot of screams can be heard coming from Lower Manhattan.
Crystal Young live at Blood Manor with a look at what's new at the city's premier haunted house.
Good morning, good morning. It is a scary time here at Blood Manor, and this has been going on for more than 2 decades.
Welcome to my Blood Manor!
You put on your glasses and you get the crap scared out of you. I'll have the story of the city's premier haunted house coming up. All right.
Is extra.
All right, it's an annual tradition that we take very seriously around here. Halloween season, Blood Manor, bringing the chills and thrills back to Lower Manhattan.
It's one of the city's best haunted houses. Good Day's Crystal Young has been there all morning checking it out for us. Are you having fun or are you frightened right now?
A little of both, but I'm gonna take one for the team. I'm gonna walk through this labyrinth of rooms. I was gonna wear my 3D glasses, but I feel like I need to see everyone coming at me. All right, I'm gonna walk through with Nick. So here goes. Here is a taste of what you will get when you come here.
Salute the general before you leave the room. Go that way.
Oh, okay, I am going. All right, I am. Go! Okay, all right. All right. Oh, hello. Hello, you look lovely, and I don't want a reference for your makeup artist. Okay, you just go from room to room and things happen. I have to tell you that Ice-T loves this place and his wife Coco. Coco, listen!
Oh, you know, everybody is like that. It's in the freezer.
I think he might have left a little spit on me, okay? So Coco said she loves it here. Ooh, spit and blood. All right. Oh, girl, that is a crazy clown. Okay, all right. I continue to walk through, and oh my Lord, this guy needs some moisturizer. I don't know what is happening here. I'm trying to hold my breath and remind myself to breathe at the same time. You're not even done. All right. We're not finished here. All righty. Okay, I cannot imagine this with 3D glasses on. Oh my God, homegirl is coming through the wall. That looks painful. Well, I can tell you that this place is open until November 8th. And if you want, you can get tickets at Blood Manor.
For dinner.
Oh,
it's nice and tender. It's nice and juicy.
Oh, speaking of juicy. Oh, my Lord. Wow. Okay. All right. You need to clean up, and is that blood coming? Oh, Lord. I'm falling over. What am I falling over? Oh, a shovel. Oh!
Dinner table.
Okay!
Come on!
All right.
We're gonna have a good time tonight.
You know your first reaction is to punch somebody, but you can't punch them when you come here. But you can get tickets at bloodmanor.com and have a little Halloween fun until November. I'm sure Gabriella's mom is like, is this what we sent her to journalism school for? Oh my God, it's a scary fun time. 359 Broadway in New York City, the breath. Lord have mercy. Back to you guys in the studio. Goodbye. Goodbye now. All right, goodbye.
But hopefully not goodbye forever, Crystal. Crystal and Gabriella both doing a great job down there. Thank you so much. All right, this is where we get paid to make transitions. From the haunted house to the Alfred E. Smith dinner.
Okay, well, it's, another tradition in New York.
Okay, there we go.
How about that?
It raised money for a good cause last night.
So it's a white tie event. It's been held annually since 1945 to benefit Catholic Charities for the Poor. This year's keynote speakers were former Secretaries of State Antony Blinken and Mike Pompeo. They were among many big names in politics, including Mayor Adams and Governor Hochul. And there's the governor. Wide range of famous faces from the world of sports. Perhaps you know some of these people.
Robert Kraft there in the middle. John Bon Jovi on his
and Ken Langone.
His right, our left.
Yeah, Home Depot, Ken Langone. Anyway, John Bon Jovi was there because he actually introduced the owner, Robert Kraft, who received the Happy Warrior Award for his philanthropic work. And he had a little fun with the host of the event, Timothy Cardinal Dolan.
Now, I know you're a New York fan, but I thought you might consider making the Patriots your AFC team of choice. So I got you this little Patriots yarmulke. I got you this Patriots zucchetto to wear after your Sunday morning mass. Or if you want to wear it during it, you can. Thank you. I like it. Good trade.
I've seen players exchange jerseys after games, but this is a first.
I know. Cardinal
Look who else was there.
Thank you. I was there. I'm honored to be asked to sit on the dais. And, of course, we had so much from Fox there. Jack Abernathy, who's the chief executive officer of Fox television stations, our boss, was there, and lots of people from Fox News. It was a really fun evening. Secretaries
going on
Blinken,
since 1945.
Secretaries Blinken and Mike Pompeo were really funny. They gave the keynote address. They roasted a few people in the audience. It was good. It was a good night.
Another good year, another good cause. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, it's something that impacts more than 1 billion women on the planet every year.
Well, ahead of World Menopause Day tomorrow, we're talking to podcaster Tamsin Fidel on how to get through it and how your partners can offer better support.
Exceptions.
Okay, if you know, you know. Tomorrow is World Menopause Day, which raises awareness and highlights ways to support the health and well-being of women as they go through menopause.
Our next guest isn't only here to tell us about menopause, but how us men can actually help support their partners as they walk through one of midlife's biggest transitions. Best-selling author of How to Menopause and the host of the Tamsin Show podcast, Tamsin Fidel, joins us again this morning. Always good to see you. Thank you.
Nice to see you.
Welcome back to Good Day.
Thank you.
I have questions about how men can support women that are going through it, but I'll let you two actually discuss first and then ask for help.
All right, how are we feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. We got our own day now. We got our own day, World Menopause Day,
you
so
know,
it feels good.
It's funny, though. Men are still, they get squeamish when women start talking about this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because they could be murdered or, you know, you just don't know how to handle this.
We don't have those stats yet. You know what I think, though? Look, it's taken us a long time as women to normalize this conversation, right? So men are just like going, hey, I should probably know about this. There are partners, there's people in the workplace. I'm around women all the time. But I'm excited that we're having the conversation now. We've come such a long way. And I think we're really understanding there are things I can do to handle the symptoms that, you know, that I have, and I don't have to sit and suffer through all of it.
The other thing, Tamsin, is that women didn't even talk amongst themselves. And doctors, they would tell you, they went to school and never studied menopause. They had nothing to... It's crazy. They never brought it up.
No, and you know what? I was really shocked by that. When we went out to produce the documentary, The M Factor, everyone's like, well, what was the most shocking part? And I think the shocking part was for me was hearing, and this is not the fault of doctors, but doctors did not learn about this in medical school, which is why I'm so grateful that we've got a lot of doctors speaking about it. We have telehealth companies that are popping up and having this conversation, so women can call a big telehealth company like MIDI and say, I need help, and they understand what the woman's talking about, versus going into a doctor and being like, I don't know, but that's what all women go through. And so that's what's so hard right now for women to figure out what to do, to deal with their symptoms, and then where to go from there.
So before I get to what men can do to help, what should women do at the beginning? Like when they first, talking about it? Is that as simple as that?
Well, I think talking about it, but educating yourself first. I think it's important if we had some kind of baseline at like 35 years old to say, look, in the next 10 years, you're going to start seeing some shifts in your hormones. And if you see hot flashes, if you have brain fog, you're talking all of a sudden and you can't remember what you were talking about, have trouble sleeping, maybe you're feeling like your weight is shifting a little bit, you're just not feeling like yourself. That could be the start of perimenopause, which can happen 4 to 10 years before menopause actually hits. So it's just that, final, that day when you don't have your period anymore.
Okay, so what should men do as supporters?
I'm so happy that you asked that question. Thank you. It's really important to understand, first of all, understand what it means, understand that this is that time period leading up to menopause, understand how to have the conversation with women. So we joked about it for so long, we'd make fun of hot flashes, we'd make fun of rage, anxiety. I think understanding what a woman's going through, understanding that you can be there to support. If it's your partner, maybe you say, hey, let's get moving in the morning if that's what she wants to do. Be there alongside her, and then understand the conversation about libido. Low libido is one of those big signs and symptoms of perimenopause and menopause, and it's not always easy to talk about with your partner.
Okay, so I was going to ask that because we can say all these things, but it's hard to be, in a relationship with someone and go, baby, you going through menopause? That conversation just doesn't usually work out well.
But you know what? I don't know. How would you feel? Here's how I feel about that. I think it's, hey, listen, I saw this crazy girl, on the air this morning talking about these symptoms. Like, have you ever had any of these symptoms? Like brain fog. I think that there's different ways to do it. I wouldn't do it in a way like, do you have rage? Because obviously that's not what we want to do. But I think how we normalize that conversation is to start the conversation with somebody that we love or somebody we're working alongside.
Sometimes, just stay out of our way.
Or that. Or what she said.
Yes, dear.
Tamsin, is there a good place for women to go to get more information and just be part of the discussion?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually having an event tomorrow for World Menopause Day. We're going to re-show the film. And so we've got a lot of the top doctors that are going to be with us at 7 o'clock digitally. You can sign up at menopauseDayEvent.com. And then on my website, we have lots of free resources for women because it's important we just get the word out, at least track your symptoms and know what's going on. And that is the easiest way to start.
Well, thank you for getting the conversation started.
Thank you. And thank you for asking all those questions.
Yes, dear.
You're a man of the cause.
What did you learn today?
I learned to shut my mouth and let's ask. That's what I learned. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tamsin. All right, coming up, you can catch him on the hit HBO drama series Task.
Jamie McShane had no idea he was going to follow this conversation when he agreed to come to Good Day.
What did you learn, Jamie?
I'm not saying anything.
Hey, you and I are on the same page. We'll talk to Jamie about his big show Task and the highly anticipated season finale coming up on Sunday after this.
Fans are eagerly awaiting the season finale of the HBO drama series Task. It is on Sunday. It's set in Philadelphia. An FBI task force is racing to stop a string of violent robberies.
Jamie McShane stars as Perry, a senior member of the biker gang, the Dark Hearts, menacing yet empathetic. He's torn between gang loyalty and doing whatever it takes to survive. His choices will have major consequences for everyone. Jamie McShane joins us in the studio right now to tell us more. Everybody's talking about this series. You got the series finale coming up on Sunday, the first season series finale coming up on Sunday. First of all, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Did this take you by surprise? Because you say this is maybe the best gig you've had.
It is.
And you've had some good ones.
Thank you. It is the best gig I've ever had. The writing, Brad Inglesby's writing is just phenomenal. The characters are so rich in such a short time. Every character is fleshed out. It's just a joy to get to be on it.
We were talking about it earlier. I mean, you were a bad guy in Bloodline.
You wasn't that bad.
No, well, you were a bad guy in Sons of Anarchy. That's the one that brought you to attention.
I wasn't that bad till
you're being typecast.
They killed my kid.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm like. I don't know if you're being typecast or you just that's the role you were born to play. But you seem to do this really, really well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, like, when you were growing up in Saddle River, New Jersey, were you thinking about being a bad guy or what?
No, I wasn't thinking about being a bad guy. I wanted to be an actor since I was a little kid, and I thought I was going to, like, make it as a hockey player, and someone was going to see me and say, hey, kid, we need you in a movie. And then I got hurt in a school little accident, and I couldn't play hockey anymore, so that kind of changed everything.
Jamie, everybody's very excited about the finale on Sunday. What can you tell us, Jamie?
Absolutely nothing.
Jamie, why are you here? Give us a little nugget, a little nugget.
No. It's a great show. You got to catch up on all the episodes.
Jamie, don't make me take you in the water and do what you did to that woman. I mean, can we talk about that scene?
Sure.
Spoiler alert if you haven't seen those.
Wait a minute. Some of us haven't seen that scene yet.
Okay, well, cover your ears because there is a scene that everybody's talking about.
Okay.
Where, that scene with the water.
Yeah.
How many times did you have to do that scene, and were you uncomfortable doing it as a person?
Well, what happened is the very first take, I slipped on the rocks and I hit hard and I snapped a tendon in my finger. So my finger was like that. And
no way.
Yeah, that was the first take. So then I had to pop it out, and then it was just trying to focus on what you're doing. You know, you got the cameras all around you, and try not to hurt anyone and not hurt myself again. But it was pretty intense.
All right, so we've got a clip from previous episode, obviously, not the finale, but let's take a look at it so we can talk more about the series Task.
What'd you say your name was again, Agent Special?
Tom Brandis.
Tom Brandis? We'll take everything under consideration, won't we?
Listen, there's a little boy missing.
No
We're coming up on 72 hours, and we're asking you for your help in finding him.
Finding what, his dead body? You know it? We know it?
Perry, I want to know who you're rotting Reading with.
That's obviously Mark Ruffalo, who plays the FBI task. Was that part of the draw for you? Was the cast? I mean, this is a really good cast, and you talked about the writing that's made this so special, or was this just another gig and we'll see how it works out?
It wasn't just another gig. This was the gig. I mean, this is the best thing I've done in my career. It's the first thing to really surpass Bloodline for me. The fact that the cast is who the cast is was phenomenal. Mark Ruffalo, Tom Pelphrey, everyone in it it's just fantastic.
Is Tom Pelphrey as intense as he is in every role he plays?
He's a sweetheart. He is a sweetheart. He's the nicest guy. He's also a Jersey boy. But he's just a nice guy, and he's a phenomenal actor.
So, I mean, I know you say this was an incredible experience, but you were juggling filming this with 1923, right?
And Wednesday, yeah.
And Wednesday. I forgot.
Yeah, it was Wednesday
too.
scene too.
So wait, how did you do that? Because they're all such different characters.
They were all the shows were really good about adjusting with my schedule. It was fantastic. I got to be in Philly doing Task, and then I'd go back and forth to Ireland doing Wednesday, and then when I got done with Task, I went to Texas and did 1923 for like a month,
wow.
And then I went back to Ireland.
Did you ever confuse the lines with
No, very different characters. Yeah. Very different characters.
It's
probably
so
very different demographics. I'm guessing the kids that watch Wednesday probably aren't the same ones that are watching Task.
Probably not. Probably not. Nor 23, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about Jersey. How does that fit into your experience as an actor? Does it?
Yeah, I'm sure it does. It's just, I love being from Jersey. I mean, it's where I grew up. I've been in LA now 27 years, and I really miss Jersey. I like when we shot Task, we were in Philly, so I got to go up and see my folks every weekend, or a lot of weekends. Yeah, my mother is. My mother is, yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's sweet.
You used to work in the family business
back
in the day?
Yeah, my dad and my brother, they used to sell and fix microscopes. And I would basically drive a suburban truck every day doing delivery and pickup while I was trying to act in New York here.
Well, it all worked out for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We're so happy that you were able to join us.
Can't wait for the season finale. You don't want to give us one nugget. One nugget for Sunday.
I'm positive, yeah.
He's like, I want to be back for season 2. Don't ruin it for me. Jamie McShane, thank you so much.
Thank you. I really
nice
appreciate
to meet you.
Thank you so much.
He was telling me we have the same birthday. It's the first thing he said when we sat down.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
In July. July, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, coming up. He's another actor that you know. He's involved in a Shakespeare classic making a return.
Austin Pendleton is going to join the cast of A Midsummer Night's Dream, and he's going to join us to talk about the off-Broadway show when we come back.
Uomo. Well, would you care to show those eyeglasses to the jury, please? Thank you. Thank you. Now, Mr. Tipton, were you wearing them that day?
No.
Well, you see, you were 50 feet away. You made a positive eyewitness identification, and yet you were not wearing your necessary prescription eyeglasses.
They're reading glasses.
Well, one of the best moments from one of the best movies. That's Austin Pendleton, award-winning actor, director, and playwright in the classic comedy film My Cousin Vinny.
So good. Anyway, he's taking on a very different role in the Resident Acting Company's off-Broadway production of A Midsummer Night's Dream. It's now playing at the Sheen Theater through November 2nd. Austin Pendleton, nice to have you on Good Day New York.
Nice to see you.
I've heard or read that you love this Shakespeare play, that you would play any character, that you love this play so much.
That's right.
So Are you happy with the character you're playing now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, well, it's a very funny play. I play the part of Bottom, and he gets involved in all kinds of ridiculous things.
Well, that's one of many characters you're playing, right? Multiple characters, because there's 6 people in the company, but you all combine to play 20 different characters.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
How did this come about? Because A Midsummer Night's Dream, the classic Shakespeare story, has like 4 sub-stories in it.
Yeah.
But you really kind of attacked the version where the actors are acting a play.
Yeah, they're called the mechanicals. Yeah.
So it makes it a little meta, if you will.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You go back and forth with the audience a lot, I understand. What
that's
have you
right.
seen that's made it different than just being a normal play off Broadway?
Well, the way we have a wonderful director by the name of Brad Cover, and what he does is he has us intermingle with the audience. We go out and we ask them questions.
What has been something that's surprised you or caused you to do something a little bit differently than you normally would with the character the previous night?
Well, it's just that it changes all the time.
I was reading a little bit about you last night, and
oh no!
Yes, I Googled you, and I know sometimes you can't always believe on Google, but is this true that you received a Tony Award nomination for Best Direction of a Play?
The Little Foxes.
For The Little Foxes with Elizabeth Taylor.
That's right.
What was that like for you?
She was a very generous lady.
Can you tell us a little bit? I'm fascinated about Elizabeth Taylor. What was her work demeanor like?
Well, she was very generous. Okay, so after the Tonys, there's an after party. And also in the cast was the wonderful character actress named Maureen Stapleton.
Oh, yeah, of course. That Maureen Stapleton, of course.
Yeah. So the press came streaming in past all the winners' table, and Maureen stood up and said, "Come on, everybody, to the losers' table." Then Elizabeth tapped on her glass, and she said, "I am inviting everyone who lost tonight, to a party tomorrow night at Sardi's at 11 o'clock after the show."
Wow.
So the next night we had this wonderful party on the second floor of Sardi's with all these, and a couple of people came who were successful, and we would go boo.
That's a great memory.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll have some terrific memories with this new play as well.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's A Midsummer Night's Dream. It's playing right now at the Sheen Center.
That's right.
Down on Bleecker Street. You can catch Austin and the rest of the cast playing multiple characters each and every night. It runs through November 2nd. Thank you so much for coming to Good Day. Very nice to meet you.
You too.
All right, when we come back, well, from drawing portraits on the subway to launching a new business.
He's a viral artist and native New Yorker. Devon Rodriguez is here. He's getting ready to release his first clothing line. Devon tells us how that happened when Good Day comes right back.
We can't change everything you don't like about shopping, but here at Stop & Shop, we're going all out to improve what we can.
Thank you.
We've seen you doing finger math in the store, but no more of that. You deserve a better way to save.
Heck yeah, I do.
With over 10,000 items always on sale, it's time we actually loved grocery shopping.
Justin, when was the last time you went on break?
I'm on break right now. With so many ways to save, good things are in store at Stop & Shop.
Oh, you got to be under the influence with this guy. He's from the South Bronx, born and raised. He's a terrific artist. Devon Rodriguez is his name. He's taken the internet by storm. And while some people catch up on reading or touch up their makeup while they're on the subway, Devon, he paints hyper-realistic portraits of the people on his train.
Yeah, he's now expanding to limited edition prints and even his first clothing line. Devon joins us right now with samples of all of the above. Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. How are you guys?
It's nice to see you in person instead of just on social media. Man, you have really blown up in the last 5 years or so. Did you ever see this coming?
No, never, but I always had dreams of all of this. Growing up in the South Bronx, I always used to envision myself like, I want to be this big artist, and nothing stopped me, no matter if I was on, I grew up on welfare and food stamps, but I was always trying to hustle my way.
So you grew up in the South Bronx. I assume you've been taking the subway probably your whole life.
My whole life.
So has this idea of drawing portraits of people, I know it really started during the pandemic.
Yeah.
It took off then. But has that always been something that you did as a kid or thought about at least?
Yeah, that's how I always learned how to draw portraits. My teachers used to always tell me, you got to draw as many different kinds of people as possible. So since 2010, I was out there drawing on the subway, but it wasn't until 10 years later where I started filming it and it started going viral, and it changed everything for me.
Your work is incredible. How long does it take you to do a portrait?
It depends on, people. If you're wearing like this pava hat, it might take me an extra, 10 minutes. Or if you don't have hair, it all depends on,
So does anybody get upset that you're drawing them? Because you actually have to look at somebody. You know how New Yorkers are.
Yeah.
You looking at me?
No, yeah, when I first started, people would get upset, but now people kind of know me on the train, and it's crazy. So, when I'm around, even when I'm walking the streets, people are like, yo, you draw me. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have my sketchbook right now. I'm in kind of like a different mode, but yeah.
Well, you have to obviously take time to do this. How many, I should ask, do you start and then the person gets off at the next stop or the 2 stops away, you don't finish?
So now I have to kind of tell the person oh, could I draw you just look down and, don't worry about it. And then they're like, oh, of course. And so I don't want to have too many starts and stops.
So, but you continue it if they get off early, or do you ask them how far they're going?
I'll ask them how far they're going, okay. And then, if they could make it happen, then we do it.
Or stay an extra stop or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, your art is now going to clothing.
Oh,
this is incredible. I love this hoodie.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So basically, my Puerto Rican followers keep telling me oh, let's put your art on clothing, and I've never done it before. I only did canvases and paper, but for the first time ever, for my Boricuas, I had to put my art on clothing. So.
Can you wash this?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, asking for a friend.
Oh yeah.
So you can wash it. It's.
Yeah, you can wash it. This is like a color pencil drawing, and they don't release until October 25th on keepsmiling.co. And yeah, I'm just so honored to be representing my people.
Well, that's just next week.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, next week.
October 25th.
Yep.
Just in time for other holidays. Hint.
Right, exactly.
You've got some artwork here with you as well.
Oh, yeah. So everywhere I go all over the world, I like to do limited edition prints for my followers. So, they all give me recommendations. They're like, don't just stay in San Juan, go to Ponce and paint Parque de Bombas. This is a little street in Old San Juan, and this is a, big, we're always repping the flag. I mean, I grew up in the Bronx, and we had the Puerto Rican flag everywhere, so it I just had to do this big flag.
I've noticed also, besides your beautiful scenery that you do, you've done some incredible portraits of people. Who are some of the people, because you've done some famous ones.
Yeah.
Who gave you a thrill?
Oprah Winfrey, President Joe Biden, so many.
De Niro. I see you with De Niro.
Yeah, so many.
You talking to me?
Yeah, but it's funny. I love to do the celebrities, but I also like to keep it real and be on the streets with the real people. I just came back from Puerto Rico, and I was just on the street with everyone talking about life on the island, and I love doing, and speaking to everyone as if they're all the same. Doesn't matter. You're just a person,
How do you pick up on people's vibe? Because that's, when you look at your portraits, that kind of comes through as well. Who they are as people, not just physical features.
I just always love connecting with people and just talking to everyday people on the streets and stuff. So now it's just I'm speaking the same, and there's just the camera on me, and you know, the vibe always comes through in the video, or, you know, like, I feel like a lot of my artwork is based on the video. Like in my Puerto Rico videos coming out soon, you can hear roosters in the background, you can hear the coquis, and all of that kind of goes into like the vibe of everything.
So what's next for you?
What's next for me is I'm gonna release a memoir in August 2026.
A memoir?
I know it's early.
How old are you?
I know, I'm 29. That's what all my friends are saying. Like, you're a baby. I know, right? It's like, I don't know. You know, I feel like growing up in the Bronx, I kind of like lived so many different lives. So I don't know. Maybe it's too early, but
no. You know what? You have a great story to tell, and
Thank you.
inspirational to so many people.
Thank you.
And I'm sure it would be a great way for you to kind of like just put it all together, and it'd be a teaching tool for other people.
Yeah. Hope so.
The way to connect with people right now is go out and get the clothing. October 25th.
Yeah.
It's available online. What's the website again?
Keepsmiling.co.
Nice and easy to remember. Get yours. T-shirts, sweatshirts.
Tote bags. Oh, and I have a gift for you guys.
Ooh.
I got one for you. So you guys are like some of the first people to get them.
Thank you.
There we go.
I can put this in the wash too.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Thank you. I will be sporting it this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Devon.
So amazing.
All right, Devon Rodriguez here on Good Day. Liv, Sunday it's going to be nice enough to wear a T-shirt, isn't it?
Don't be jealous, Liv.
I am jealous. Wow, that's really cool. Yes, it is going to be T-shirt weather. I mean, maybe today if you're comfortable wearing a T-shirt in the low 60s. I'm not, but go crazy. 61 degrees is our expected high today. Anywhere between 60 63 is where we'll land. 62 out on Long Island. Same thing through Connecticut, Hartford down to Bridgeport. If you're down the shore, it's a little bit cooler, so expect temperatures to stay in the mid to upper 50s. We'll just cross into the low 60s for the Hudson Valley. Monticello, 57 degrees. So we're a little bit below average for this time of year. Record set a very long time ago was in the 80s, but not today. We're pretty much exactly where we're supposed to be. Current wind speeds 5 to 15 miles per hour. It's been a pretty breezy week, starting with that nor'easter in the beginning of the week, and it's going to remain breezy. It's better than the past couple of days, but still, right now we have wind gusts reaching 25 miles per hour in New York and out on Long Island. Expect that to remain the same throughout today and this evening. It's a little bit more calm tomorrow. We're going to keep with that sunshine for the rest of today and most of the weekend. That's thanks to this area of high pressure going to keep us dry, but late Sunday into Monday, we do have an area of low pressure accompanied by a cold front going to bring us some showers. Again, late Sunday, very late Sunday into early Monday, a couple of rounds of showers. And then we have a couple rain chances for Tuesday and Wednesday as well. Lows tonight mainly in the 40s, but we do revisit the 30s if you're further north in White Plains, Hartford, Poughkeepsie. All of those places will get back down to the 30s. Tomorrow, 65 degrees. Sunday, this is the T-shirt weather, 72 with those nighttime showers. So we start off Monday a little cooler and wet, but then we warm back up Tuesday for a high of 68. Curt and Rosanna?
All right, thank you very much, Liv. Did you hear about this story? A butterfly was injured, but now it's flying again. They gave it a wing transplant.
How'd they find the wing? How did they go looking in the grass and everything for this wing? Anyway, apparently they did. A Long Island wildlife rehabilitator, Janine Bendixson, performed what she calls the first of its kind butterfly wing transplant. She was able to find wings on the ground, so not exactly the wing,
right? Exactly,
but close enough to the wing.
A cousin's wing,
right? And then put it together, attach the wing with contact cement. She dusted cornstarch over the glue to stop sticking and replaced the damaged wing. The story has now gone viral, spreading from Long Island to the rest of the world. And the butterfly can fly after that. How do you like that?
Well, you learn something new every day. That's all I can think of.
I know.
We'll be back with more Good Day after this.
You never know.
'Cause I can't get you off my
All right. On Monday, do you remember him from the movie Mean Girls? Jonathan Bennett. He'll be here. We'll talk to him about season 2 of the Hallmark holiday reality competition series, Finding Mr. Christmas.
So he's gone from Mean Girls to Finding Mr. Christmas.
He's
versatile.
He's probably very, very nice on Finding Mr. Christmas.
They usually are nice in real life.
Yeah. Are you ready for your Sunday show?
Yes, we're going to get ready. Fox NFL Sunday will be here as we always are. Good. Noon on Sunday right here at Fox 5.
I know. My husband has you on the minute you come on. I'm like, can I get a moment, please? Even on Sunday, I got to hear Curt.
Oh, well, don't know what to tell you.
Curt, I'm not complaining.
Thank you.
Oh, Liv,
most people
you're
don't.
not here that much.
That's true.
That's why she's my friend.
I just pop in for Native New Yorker.
I too love seeing you.
There you go.
7 days a week.
I know.
Anyway, stay tuned. Sherry Shepherd's next, Jennifer Hudson at 11.
And don't forget to watch the Noon at noon. Get outside. Enjoy the weekend, everybody. We'll see you again on Monday. Have a good day, New York.
Block us even moving to the bill, because there are multiple opportunities, 60-volt threshold opportunities for them to block it later on if they don't like what happens. This is politics. If anything was needed to demonstrate just how fundamentally uninterested Democrats are in supporting our troops and defending our country, just take a look at this vote. Mere months ago, Mr. President, I say mere months ago, Democrats were complaining about all the damage shutdowns do to hardworking Americans. And I literally could fill the rest of this hour with Democrat quotes from the past few years about the devastating impacts of shutdowns. Now, Democrats couldn't care less. They're happy to sacrifice any American and evidently any principle to their political goals. Mr. President, Democrats like to position themselves as the party of the little guy and the defender of hardworking Americans. But as this vote makes clear, who do Democrats really care about? Democrats. Mr. President, I yield the floor. And I move to proceed to legislative session.
Questions on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Motion's agreed to.
Mr. President, I send a cloture motion to the desk.
The clerk will report.
Cloture motion, we the undersigned senators, in accordance with the provisions of Rule 22 of the standing rules of the Senate.
All right, did want to play out some of those moments that happened there yesterday after that failed 10th vote there on the Senate floor. This was to get that House-passed GOP Republican continuing resolution, also known as a CR, also known as the budget bill, to be passed there in the Senate. Of course, once again, it failed 10 times at this point, and there's no end in sight at this point to the government shutdown. And so we were hearing there from Senate Majority Leader John Thune speaking there, criticizing the Democratic Party for their role, he says, in this government shutdown. But just so you're able to know, we've crossed a new barrier today. This government shutdown, now that we have entered the 17th day, has become the third longest in history. So we do have a brief history lesson here for you on Live Now, just to provide some context to how these shutdowns have really occurred over the last few years. So, of course, a government shutdown, as we've been watching, occurs when Congress fails to approve funding for federal agencies. Before 1980, though, agencies largely continued operating during a lapse in funding with the assumption that Congress would act quickly. Back in 1980 and 1981, then Attorney General did authorize a series of legal opinions that found that government agencies didn't have the authority to continue running during that gap in funding. President Ronald Reagan oversaw 8 shutdowns during his time in office, the longest of which lasted just 3 days. There were 3 funding gaps between 1990 and 1995, and then none again until 2013. But it was the longest government shutdown in history that occurred in late 2018 going into 2019 when funding lapsed for 34 days. The second longest came in December of 1995 at 21 days. The 2013 shutdown lasted for 16 full days, which the current shutdown has now lapsed, getting to the point where it is the third longest in our nation's history. And so we've entered the third week. We've been hearing from those lawmakers really on both sides of the aisles, talking about what we're seeing here. I want to put this up on your screen, though, once again, as we're expecting to hear and see from House Speaker Mike Johnson any moment now as he steps up to the microphone. We'll continue to bring that to you here on Live Now from Fox. In the meantime, though, we've also been keeping up with this story that's coming to us live right now out of Chicago. As you can see, there are protesters outside of an ICE facility. Right now, there's a reporter there with Fox 32 in Chicago on the scene giving a report live. Let's dip into what she has to say to get an update.
The fence that surrounded the ICE processing building on Beach Street in front of the entrance there. As we reported, a judge ruled that it be taken down after the village sued, saying it bars emergency vehicles from getting in. We were watching this morning to see if protesters would stay in the free speech zone or if they would try to go onto Beach Street and closer. And that's what you're seeing in the video here, kind of the height of everything going on, and state police coming in a line with batons.
The difference is like around Frederick. That's where that's where the snow line is. It's just much further than
Well, good morning. Welcome to day 17 of the Democrat shutdown. I feel like on a day like this, at the end of another long week, I just feel like we ought to apologize. I hate that we have to do this. I don't want to be here any more than you do talking about this subject. It is so difficult to be a happy warrior when you know that so many millions of American people are suffering, being made to suffer unnecessarily because of the Democrats' political games. If you're keeping count at home, we're on day 17 of the shutdown. The Democrats have now voted for the 11th time to keep the government closed. 11 times now. They've refused to just do their basic job, get the government going again, making sure that federal employees are paid, that our troops are paid, Border Patrol agents, TSA agents, air traffic controllers, and everyone else who relies upon the vital services of our federal government. They're being denied that because Democrats in Congress are playing games. And right now, to add insult to injury, if you're paying attention at home, you also need to make note of this. Yesterday, the Senate Democrats took it a step further. They rejected a standalone bill to fund our nation's defense and pay our troops. They voted it down. Now, why is that so noteworthy? Well, the bill was passed out of committee in the Senate with broad bipartisan support. And yet, the Democrats still engaged in a stunt on the floor, and they rejected it. So now they are on record specifically and exclusively to block the paychecks of the troops, to block the funding of our national defense in a very dangerous moment in world history. It is absurd to us. Leader Thune said this on the floor, on the Senate floor after that vote. He said, quote, "That one vote demonstrates just how fundamentally disinterested Democrats are in supporting our troops and providing for our common defense." Yes, that is exactly what we saw. And I suspect that if they were here today and it was on the floor, they'd do it once again. Now, tomorrow, the Democrat leaders are going to join for a big party out on the National Mall. They're going to descend on our Capitol for their much-anticipated so-called No Kings rally. We refer to it by its more accurate description, the Hate America rally, okay? And I'm not sure how anybody can refute that. If you think about what's going to happen here tomorrow, you're going to bring together the Marxists, the socialists, the Antifa advocates, the anarchists, and the pro-Hamas wing of the far-left Democrat Party. That is the modern Democratic Party. That's where they've gone. And the Hate America rally is the common theme among all those groups. Listen to the language they use themselves. Many of them don't like living in America. They hate capitalism. They hate our free enterprise system. They hate our principles. They hate the ideas that we come in to work every day to fight for, to preserve, in the greatest nation in the history of the world. They hate the idea of individual freedom and limited government. They hate the idea of the rule of law. They fight against it all the time. They hate the idea of peace through strength. They lobby against it all the time. Individual freedom, limited government, the rule of law, peace through strength, fiscal responsibility, free markets, human dignity. the things that lead to human flourishing, the things that made us the greatest nation in the history of the world. They're opposed to law enforcement. They're opposed to military, and their votes show it over and over. That's the collection of voices that you'll hear tomorrow that the Democrats will go out and raise their hands with and cheer with. And some of these people are so blinded by their hatred of President Donald Trump that they can't find one reason to celebrate America or all that we've accomplished and continue to accomplish under this new administration. Now, obviously, every American has every right to exercise their First Amendment freedoms. I'm personally a big advocate of that. I spent the first 20 years of my legal career in the federal courts before I came to Congress defending the right to free speech. They have the right to do it. Republicans, by the way, are the party that fights to maximize your liberty. And we believe, just as our founders did, that every American has been endowed by God himself with unalienable rights, and that includes the rights to life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. But tomorrow, this rally is not about freedom. It's about the opposite. For many of our Democrat colleagues, tomorrow is about creating really a spectacle. That's what they've been doing here every day of the shutdown with their little TikTok videos and their publicity stunts, and they're going to do it in a much larger venue tomorrow. And as the shutdown drags on, it's becoming increasingly clear that this spectacle is the reason the Democrats have refused to reopen the government. Just read a sample of the materials that this organizing group has circulated far and wide about the event tomorrow. They distributed talking points cheering on the shutdown. I mean, they're urging this on. They love this. They're cheering on Chuck Schumer's decision to close the government, and their lead organizer said this. This is his words, not mine. Quote, "He hasn't surrendered yet. I call that progress." Maybe that's what led Chuck Schumer to say that every day of the shutdown gets better for us. That's what he said. Since then, Democrats have had their 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th opportunities to reopen the government, and they have obeyed the mob. They have listened to that. On Wednesday, this is pretty ominous. I don't know if anybody's reported on this, but you should. The lead organizer of tomorrow's event issued an open threat to Democrats in Washington, and this is what he said, quote, "The cavalry is coming in on October 18th, and they're either going to be celebrating you or they're going to be calling for new leadership in the Democrat Party." Now, I know who heard that. Chuck Schumer heard it. Hakeem Jeffries heard it. And their actions and their votes show that they are taking that as an order. Evidently, they've decided it's more important to show a fight to President Trump and appease this mob than to reopen the government and ensure the American people are taken care of. It's a binary choice right now. And to the surprise of literally no one, Chuck Schumer confirmed yesterday that he'll attend tomorrow's rally. Of course he will. He gave an impassioned speech on the Senate floor. He urged his colleagues to stand with him and fight against President Trump. The fight is absurd. Senator, you've been in office for 44 years. You've been in Congress longer than that, but you've been in Congress for 44 years, and everybody clearly understands what's going on. You're holding the entire country hostage to protect your own political career. I mean, no one can deny that. And what you're doing is absurd. You're demanding $1.5 trillion new spending instead of the clean, totally nonpartisan CR that you yourself voted for just 7 months ago. The whole charade is obvious. And I also want to point out the irony that is equally clear, okay? As much as we disagree with Schumer and the Senate Democrats and all that's going to happen tomorrow, no one, not a single person is going to be standing in their way of their right to exercise, assemble, and protest peacefully. That alone is a profound testament to the strength of our republic, to the beauty of America. They are decrying the country that allows them to engage in this activity. And the last time I checked, Americans have more freedom right now to express themselves and speak their minds after Republicans took over and ended the years of having millions of Americans' voices systematically silenced during the COVID pandemic years and the left's cancel culture. It is the Republicans that restored your right to share and speak your mind. And that's the first and most obvious irony of the Hate America rally. The second and even more absurd fact is that all the Democrats who are so angry that they don't control the government are the same people who have decided to shut it down and hand the keys to President Trump. That's the great irony. Chuck Schumer said it himself. I brought just 2 lines out of his New York Times op-ed that he wrote and published March 18th of this year. And he pointed out there, in a shutdown, this is his words, the Trump administration would have wide-ranging authority. He said there's no check on their determinations on what is essential and what is not. Chuck Schumer put it in writing and published it. He knew this scenario, and he is the one that has decided to hand the keys to the kingdom to President Trump. When he shut down the legislative branch, The chief executive has the authority to make the decisions in the executive branch. He has no choice. They have turned off the funding streams, and they have to triage the situation with federal spending. Everybody on the mall this weekend should recognize and remember who's responsible for taking the reins of Congress and handing them to President Trump. It's Chuck Schumer. He's the one that's done it, and he can make it stop tomorrow if he had the courage to tell you the truth. But he's incapable of telling the truth right now, and he's doing something that's unprecedented. Never in the history of Congress has a party shut down the government over a clean CR. This is an unprecedented event, and it's inexcusable. And it's Chuck Schumer who's making the decision to keep the government closed. And until the mob and Bernie and AOC and the rest of the socialists give him permission to reopen the government, we're afraid that Americans are going to continue to suffer at the hands of Democrats' political games. I doubt Americans will hear that on the protest days tomorrow, but that is the truth. And it's why Republicans are here and will continue to be here every single day, sharing the facts with the American people for as long as it takes. In just a moment, you're going to get to hear from our dear friend and colleague, the chairman of our Armed Services Committee, Chairman Mike Rogers of Alabama. As I mentioned at the top of the remarks, Democrats have voted 11 times now to block the paychecks for our troops. And we have a duty to support those men and women who defend our country and all the rest of us. And the Democrats are failing our brave heroes. Chairman Rogers is here to tell you more about that and the other grave implications for our national defense and our military readiness. I'm happy to introduce him to you right now. Chairman Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I appreciate that. I appreciate all of y'all being here and focusing on what this means for us. We are very fortunate that President Trump found a way to pay our troops this Wednesday on their payday. For those of you who aren't aware, this country has never, for the last 148 years, because of congressional inaction, failed to pay the troops on time. 1877 was the last time. That would have happened this Wednesday, but for what President Trump did. I do want you to know that that option is not going to be available in 2 weeks for their next paycheck. We had 2 million service members that were able to get paid this week because of President Trump's creativity. And these are families that are serving around the world, many of them in very unfavorable conditions, making huge sacrifices for our freedom and safety. And most of them live paycheck to paycheck. Most of them have less than $3,000 in savings, and 1 in 5 of them only have one source of income. So this is very real for these folks. Now, the 500,000 civilian federal employees, they're going to miss their first paycheck next week, and then the rest of them the week thereafter. This is going to get really painful for a lot of civilian employees. Obviously, I think about the DOD civilian employees, but throughout the federal workforce, people will start missing their first paycheck next week and the week after, and it is solely at the feet of Chuck Schumer and the Democrats in the Senate. This body has passed a funding bill that just continued the Biden budget for a few weeks while we negotiated, and it's the Democrats who have decided to shut this government down. Another consequence that we're dealing with, we were just informed last night by the National Nuclear Security Administration, the group that handles and manages our nuclear stockpile, that the carryover funding they've been using is about to run out. They will have to lay off 80% of their employees. These are not employees that you want to go home. They're managing and handling a very important strategic asset for us. They need to be at work and being paid. Other things that some of our civilian and active duty, the active duty employees are having to suffer is they don't get to do routine medical and dental care when they're in a shutdown. They don't have tuition assistance when they're in a shutdown. If you're got a permanent duty change of station that's occurred during the shutdown, you're just stuck. Your apartment may already be closed. You may be your furniture on a truck going somewhere, and you're just stuck in limbo. All these things are real life problems for people that are being imposed on them by the Democrats. Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, their governments are not shut down. These are the members of the axis of evil that we're having to deal with, and we need our Defense Department operating on all cylinders. Y'all know we've recently passed the reconciliation bill. We're in the middle of contract negotiations for nuclear submarines, for destroyers, for aircraft carriers. All that had to stop because of this. We have personnel that are supposed to be analyzing our intelligence gathering. They're gone home. They've gone home. They can't do their jobs. This has very real national security implications that Chuck Schumer has imposed on this country, and it needs to end. It needs to end, especially now before people start missing paychecks. And with that, I'll yield to the leadership.
Thank you, Chairman Rogers. Well, Chairman Rogers just laid out some of the dire consequences that are happening today because Chuck Schumer decided to shut down the government. And a lot of people ask, what's the off-ramp? And especially they ask, what changed in Chuck Schumer from just a few months ago, back in March when Chuck Schumer voted for these very same funding levels? Chuck Schumer himself voted for these funding levels in March, and today he's shutting the entire government down, jeopardizing America's national security over those same levels. And so what changed? And I think you don't need to look any further than what you saw on the stage in New York last night. A debate between the leading candidates for mayor of New York to see how far Chuck Schumer's party has moved to the socialist left. When you see Mondami, who's the leading candidate, and by all accounts is going to win going away for mayor of New York, has taken over the Democrat Party in the state of New York. And his main opponent on that stage, there is no bench in the Democrat Party. It was disgraced former Governor Cuomo, who was run out of office for, among other things, instituting policies during COVID that led to the death of thousands of senior citizens. That's the best that the Democrat Party has to offer in the city of New York. And so Chuck Schumer's watching all of this and recognizing that from March till today, his own party has moved so far to the socialist left that he's now afraid for his own political future. And to try to hold on and grasp one last ounce of power for himself, he's willing to jeopardize millions of American families. And that is who is paying the consequence for Chuck Schumer's actions, for the tantrum that he's having. He is more concerned, as the speaker pointed out, at impressing the Hate America rally crowd that's coming up here tomorrow than he is about not solving all of our problems. Tomorrow, if he voted today to open up the government, it wouldn't solve our differences. And we all know we have big differences. We have 3 appropriations bills that are in a conference committee that, frankly, Republicans and Democrats on those committees had already worked out the differences. And it was Chuck Schumer who walked away back then a few weeks ago and decided then he was going to shut the government down. Not because we had really big differences on those policies, but because he needed to appease the radical base that had taken over his own party. And so maybe as Chuck Schumer starts realizing the consequences of his actions, and maybe it's the people that are holding Chuck Schumer hostage that we need to make an appeal to release Chuck Schumer so he can release the American people. But over and over again, we're going to keep talking about the damage that Chuck Schumer's actions in shutting down the government are causing on real people. Our men and women in uniform, yes, President Trump was able to stave off for a few more weeks by finding money to pay for them, but as Chairman Rogers pointed out, that account's about to go dry. But there are other federal employees that were not able to get paid just in this most recent pay schedule. And my local media outlet, WWL-TV, just did a story today that went live about the consequences to those federal employees. We're talking about thousands of people just in Southeast Louisiana. Maybe Chuck Schumer doesn't care about those people, but his party is causing pain through a lot of corners of this country. I want to read a quote from the director of the food bank in the New Orleans area. He said, quote, "Demand is up, supply is down, and now we're getting hammered by the fallout from the government shutdown as more and more people who may have been expecting to get that paycheck to buy groceries So now they'll come to us or one of our 500 partners to get food assistance. That was the chief strategy officer of Second Harvest Food Bank in New Orleans, just representing one area of the country where thousands of federal workers can't even afford to buy groceries and are going to a local food bank so that Chuck Schumer can appease the most radical socialists in his party. This is affecting real people. And there's a bill that, again, doesn't solve all of our differences, but just allows those people to be freed so that they can get back to work. They can get their paychecks. They can provide food for their family while we negotiate those differences for another few weeks. It's time for Chuck Schumer to end this madness. There's a bill to open the government. Let's go solve our differences, negotiate our differences,